working? Is this working? Have you checked the cable? Oh man, I hope this is working. I'm checking on my own YouTube. Let's say next. Oh, of course now Google is asking me for authentication. Is this working? More ways to verify. Yes, it's me. We're having issues there to get started. Yes, excellent. Views 0. Why is this not working? Oh, is this working? Is it working? Yes, finally. I thought I was speaking on my own the whole time. This is great. It's working. How many people do we have? We have 14 people. It is early morning here in Tokyo. I guess for a lot of you it's evening, maybe. So that's awesome. Who do we have? Let me see. I don't remember how to get my chat information anymore. Ooh. I just woke up. That's the problem. That's the problem, guys. Just waking up is always an issue. Hello, Ryzen. Astroduck is hearing me. Smasky, hi, everybody. And of course, my favorite Wombat Zone telling me like, hey, have you checked the cable of your webcam if it's not working? And if you don't know what he's referring to, it's one of my recent videos with the cables that were causing issues with and wasting my imaging nights and therefore wasting my life, obviously. There used to be a panel. Yeah, just a sec. Let me try to find tools, docs, controls, YouTube, chat. There it is. Chat. There, now I can see the chat on my window. That helps a lot. Ooh, we have Samu from Italy. Italy, isn't it like almost midnight in Italy? Something like that. Robert Godet, I'm not sure which it is. And Smash Sky is just wrapping up streaming of the sun. It's almost 6 p.m. there. Hola, Hugh Hamasaki. Hugh Hamasaki, that sounds like a Japanese surname, unless I'm completely wrong. We have George Botarini from NJ. NJ is New Jersey, is it? USA. USA, I know that. United States of America, right? And Brian the Primate, Astro, is technically right. We are primates. Glad I caught one of your live streams. Processing data stream, exactly this one. So today, yes, what are we doing? We are going to be processing M51 data, because if you were on my last live stream, you saw that I had roughly 2 hours of clear skies that I spent mostly chatting with you, wasting time, although it is not a time waste because it was a lot of fun, and doing some polar alignment. And then we had like a couple of snapshots of M51 and the end. But a couple of nights later, actually, I think it was 3 nights ago, something like that, we had clear nights after like 10 p.m. roughly, and then I was able to do an imaging session, except that I was fighting with the alignment of the 2 scopes of my Frankenscope. But now the alignment is done, although I've messed with the mount afterwards, so maybe it's off again. I'll need to check that again. But it's great because I was able to point my 2 scopes on M51, and the Carbon Star telescope used just the luminance filter, and the other side, the Quattro 150p, I did it with a hydrogen alpha oxygen 3 filter that I'm currently testing. And so we have broadband data and narrowband data. Should be fun. So let's see, what are we saying? We have Robert then from Canada. Sorry about the pronunciation. Peugeot is in the Gulf of Mexico on an oil rig. Seriously, that is awesome. Wait. On an oil rig, can you bring your Astro rig with you? Because I know there's always lights, right, on the oil rig. So it's probably not the best place to do astrophotography, even though It's in the middle of the not the ocean, but the sea. This one, yes, this one processing data stream. Michael, hello from New Hampshire, USA. Thomas, hello sir, I was just speaking with you. We were talking about an electromagnetic storm, weren't we? Sorry about that. Pete's Astrophotography, hello Cuiv. Hello Pete, how are you doing? Jeremiah, hi Cuiv. Laku, 11:40 p.m. in Switzerland. Don't forget to go to bed. I don't know how long this live stream will last, although I do have a hard stop because I have to go to work. This is a pre-going to work live stream because yes, it is Monday for me. Monday fun day, maybe. We have Robert Spellman, hi from the high desert. Where is the high desert? But I already know I'm jealous of you. You must have really beautiful skies. Samu, 2340 in Italy, absolutely evening. Don't forget to sleep. Robert Stone, hi Cuiv. Hi Robert. George, love your videos. Thank you. I do my best there. It might not look like it, but they're actually a lot of work. What else? Miguel Morao. I saw you in the last stream as well. It's 5:41 p.m. in Puerto Rico. That's awesome. Pete's here. See world domination. Wait, Pete, are you a world dominator? I hope you're not coming to take over everyone. 2240 in Tenerife. I would love to go to Tenerife because it's a great place to do astrophotography, but also paragliding, and those are my two hobbies at the moment. Sean Moore from Oklahoma, USA. Yes, I was in Oklahoma recently. It's a beautiful place. Gilles, hello, Cuiv from France. It's 11:40 p.m. in France, right? Go to bed, man. Or if you're imaging, don't go to bed. You're fine. Then we have Smile Sky. Are we taking bets on how soon and how many gifted members there will be? Okay, something is happening. Pete! It's Pete. I remember I saw you on a Lucomatico stream. Don't do it, man. Seriously, don't do it. Andrew, this is cool. Hi, Cuiv. Hi, Andrew. Peugeot, I am above the light. Bortles 3. Now that is awesome, mate. Dedication watching Cuiv while in an all rig. Absolutely. Everyone salutes to Peugeot Jojo for joining from an all rig. It's awesome. I want to see pictures next time. Hello, Cuiv from Sweden. Hi, Alexis. Sweden, nice. It's you probably don't have a lot of darkness these days, do you? That must be rough. All rig in the Gulf of Mexico, and I wonder if you're on my uncle's rig. I think he's out for another 2 weeks. So, take bets. Is Peugeot's all rig also the all rig from this one's uncle? Because that would be an awesome coincidence. Then Smasky, speaking of geomagnetic storms, AR3697 just disappeared around the side of the sun. So long, AR3697. We will probably never see you again, but it was fun while it lasted. Someone is calling in sick tomorrow. Oh, David! Sorry, I just noticed 50 Norwegian krones. That's a lot, mate. Thanks so much for the donation. Why do I have to go to bed now? I'm sorry, you have to go to bed. I hope you can do one when it is day morning in the EU. Yes, when it's day morning in the EU, I'll probably be doing like actual astrophotography live stream. Hopefully better than the last one. Yeah, I mean, it depends on the weather here. It's coming into the rainy season, so we might have to wait a bit for that. Linux Astro, Linux Astro, I see you everywhere, and mate, I love you because Linux. Come on, that's awesome. I'm a huge fan of Linux, but that I know it doesn't show in the videos, but I use it on the side. Happy Monday, exactly. Happy Monday, Linux Astro. Alexander Irk, hi, Cuiv, greetings from Munich. I've transited through that airport so many. Oh, Stefan, guys, we have Stefan. Stefan B who looks very unassuming there. He's the creator of Nina. We have the creator of Nina in the house, guys. Salutes to Stefan. Hello, Stefan. That is awesome. Thanks for joining. Joseph, hello from Denver. Hello, thanks for joining. Sean Moore. Okay, Sean Moore. What? Okay, first, let me do a quick summary for those who join later on. How many people we have? How many people do we have? 100 people already. That's a lot of people. What we're going to do today is process some pretty mediocre data that I had from a very recent night where we miraculously had some good skies for a few hours. So I have less than 3 hours of data with my dual scope Frankenscope. But because it's a dual scope Frankenscope, that means we have 4 to 6 hours of data because it's a dual scope. So it's not that bad. This is what we're going to be processing once I manage to try to catch up with the chat with so many people joining. This is so much fun, guys. Hello from Denver. Joseph, hello. Thanks for joining. Sean Moore, what do you consider a good trafficking RMS for your mount? 0.5 to 1 or 0.25 considering real good? So that's a good question. It depends on your scope. Like, what is your scope resolution? Because if your scope resolution, you're imaging with like a Samyang or Rokinon 135mm lens with a CCD camera that has 8 micrometer size pixels, your guiding can be like 5 arc seconds RMS and you'll still be fine. So it really depends on your rig resolution. In Tokyo, I've never managed anything better than 0.4, maybe 0.3 arc seconds guiding because the seeing here is permanently bad. So yeah, it really also depends on the area, your atmospheric conditions you're seeing. It's very difficult. I'm usually satisfied whenever I have like less than 1 arc second RMS. And I used to not get that with my EQR, EQ6 Pro, EQR6 Pro, I don't remember the name. I used to get above 1 arc second of guiding, like 1.2, 1.3 all the time, but it was still fine. And one tip for guiding is if you have not enabled multi-star guiding in PhD2, do so. It will definitely improve your numbers by letting PhD2 have access to more points of reference to check if you're on track or not. Okay, what do we have? Oh, wow, the chat went ahead of me. Robert Spellman, welcome to Lazy Geek. Hi, Robert, thanks for joining. Then Pujo, I don't have my 12-inch GSO dub, but I do have my C-Star. C-Star, great use case for an oil rig, because if you're just joining, Jojo, or Pujo Jojo, is joining from an oil rig. That is dedication. So we have Pujo Joho, we have Pete's Astrophotography, who is apparently a mad lad. We'll see if he really is. And we have also Stefan, the creator of Nina, joining on the stream, which is awesome. Okay, let me open up PixInsight, just so we have, so that I can show you I do have stuff ready and we're not just going to be chatting. This is M51, but it's no screen transfer function yet. So we're not seeing what is going on. Jorge Villavicencio from California. Are you planning to talk about the horizontal bands happening in our Ryzen cams IMX571 after heavily using them for over a year? I have not seen those horizontal bandings, so you'll need to fill me in more on that. If there's a thread on Cloudnotes, I'll look for it and I'll raise it up to Taupe Tech. Can you recommend a camera for under 1K for my Skywatcher 200p? Andrew Pennell. Well, less than 1K, what I would typically recommend, and with the 200p, you have a decent focal length. Anything with the IMX533 sensor. So if it's ZW, that would be the ZW ASI 533 MC Pro. It's a small-ish sensor. It's a square sensor. Not everybody likes that, but I personally am a big fan because you don't care that much about rotation and framing anymore. And it's a very docile sensor. Very nice, very easy to handle, no amp glow, no weird stuff with your flats, that kind of stuff. If you want more resolution and you're more budget limited, the IMX585 sensor can give you good results. But in that case, I personally prefer the Taupe Tech version because it lets you choose between low conversion gain and high conversion gain at any point in the gain range. Whereas the ZW version switches, I think, gain 242, and that's a bit high in my opinion. I wish it could switch to the high conversion gain earlier or have a separate user controllable switch. That's also a very good choice, IMX585 sensors. And if you are willing to put up with some tantrums from the camera. The 294 sensor from the ASI 294 MC Pro is supposed to be really good. I had issues with my flats on it, but apparently if you do not take bias frames with that, it's very important, do not take bias frames, but you take dark frames and you take flat frames that are longer than 3 seconds long, also very important. And then your dark flats are also longer than 3 seconds long, then the 294 sensor might be a good choice for the 200p. Then we have Spaztech, hello Cuiv, checking in from Birmingham, Alabama, Bortle 7. Still slightly better than here, but yeah, Bortle 7 is pain, man. So good luck dealing with that. And thanks for joining the stream. Alexis, Midnight Sun here. Yeah, man, it must be rough up there. Oh wow, I'm so late on the chat. Let me try to restrict myself. Hello from Germany, without astronomical dark. Jill Paulbert, that is rough, man. You have to wait, I guess. Maybe narrowband still kind of works. Fingers crossed. Philip Fontaine, hello Cuiv, from Georgia, US. My cousin lives in Georgia. If you've watched my Eclipse video, you saw my cousin there. He's from Georgia. I've been there many times. Rome, GA, northwest of Atlanta, if I remember correctly. Isaac, hello there. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. Will live stacking be incorporated into Nina? Nina has a plugin that lets you integrate the PixInsight live stacking into it. So in a way, it's done. In a way, it's not as much as like, what's the name? Sharpcap. Rocco, hello Cuiv, thanks for your great videos. Thanks for appreciating them. It's a lot of work. And thanks Stefan for Nina. Absolutely everyone thanks Stefan for Nina. Friendly reminder to stop yapping and start processing. I'll get there. I'll get there. I'm sorry. Jesus Bilbao, hi Cuiv from Florida, USA. Big thanks. Processed my first image following your videos 2 years ago. Mate, that is awesome. That's what I like to hear. Will we see Nina on Linux? I asked Stefan, but no, probably not. Except maybe Alpaca plus .NET on Linux? Maybe possible, huh, Stefan? Let us know. What else? Martin, salut Cuiv, à quand des versions françaises? Never. I'm sorry, I don't even know the terms for astrophotography in French. Like, people ask me questions on like email in French, and they use astrophotography terms. I have no idea what it is, so I have to look up the French to English translation to figure out what they're talking about. Greetings from Mojave Valley, Arizona. That is a beautiful place, mates. Skittles, water, you have great skies. I'm very jealous of you. Here's a question for the community. If you live on the equator, which hemisphere do you pull a line for? I don't think they care that much about the hemisphere. Jeremiah, I love my 533. It is a great, very docile sensor, definitely. Don't forget to like the live stream. Good reminder. I never remind people, but reminder to like the live stream. Bortle 3 for Robert. I'm very jealous of you in Canada, right? You ship me, hello again, lives in Bortle 4 area near Rome, GA. Linux Astro, there you go. I've been there quite a few times. I actually got stuck with my rental car in a ditch that was full of mud. I hadn't realized that, and a passerby actually helped me by pushing the car together with me. We got full of mud. It was lots of fun. Then Andrew Pennell, thanks for a detailed answer. And Stefan, thank you so much for Nina. It's awesome. Nina is awesome. A quick reminder. If we go to Nina Astro, let's search for it. If you go to nighttimeimaging.eu, this is where you can download Nina if you've never used it. And if you appreciate Nina, there is a donate tab here, just FYI, just so you know. Stefan, I think, has taken some like a step back from work. I'm not sure to what level, to work like more time on Nina, and that's thanks to him we have this amazing piece of software. So just so you know. And Stefan, I can't promise anything for Linux. The first step with Nina 3 has been made by going to .NET Core, which is supported now on Linux, but many things depend on Windows, the biggest being the user interface. Of course, I remember that user interface module. Okay, Stefan is the GOAT in AP. Absolutely. We have 109 viewers, so I think it is time to get started with the processing. So for anyone who joined later, this is what we're going to work with. What is this? This is a very tiny M51 galaxy in the center of the frame. So just to apply a quick unlinked STF, we have tiny little cute M51 here. And we have also a tiny little cute M51, but it looks somehow a bit different. And this is because this was taken with the Frankenscope. And on the left-hand side is the Carbon Star telescope that is using, what is it using? Just a luminance filter, no light pollution filter whatsoever. And on the right-hand side, we have the data from the Quadro 150p telescope that is next to the other one. And that is using an H-alpha oxygen 3 filter that I am currently testing. So we have the H-alpha data, we have the luminance data, and the game today will be to try to combine them. I've never done that, but yesterday for study, I watched a video from the excellent YouTube channel SETI's Astro. Search for it if you don't know. SETI, not the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, but SETI's Astro. The YouTube channel. He makes a lot of scripts for PixInsights. Unfortunately, one of his scripts, when I last tested, it didn't work well for me, but whatever, that doesn't matter. Like one of them is the statistical stretch script that I'll probably soon feature on the channel. So I watched SETI's Astro, this one, Continuum subtraction, now fully automated. So I'll try the script for that today, but also I watched another one. He has a whole galaxy processing tutorial where he merges LRGB data together with H-alpha, oxygen 3 and sulfur 2 data. And hopefully I remember it enough. I took some notes. I have some notes next to me, and hopefully we can try it. There it is, the galaxy processing long form workflow. This is an absolute goldmine. He goes very fast. You need to be very familiar with PixInsight to understand what the heck he's doing, but this is freaking amazing. So go ahead and on his channel and watch this. I can't recommend this enough. Let me catch up with chat for a moment. Hopefully I don't forget some messages. We have ASIC Astro Hi from Sweden and greetings from Newcastle, Australia. We have someone from Australia. Morning in Australia, just like in Japan. Sara Bide, おはようございます。おはよう、どこなの？あれ？日本なの？日本人じゃないな。But yeah, it is morning, Monday morning here in Japan. Thanks for all the videos. NWOR. Where is NWOR? NWOR. Location. Northwestern Oregon? I don't know. Let me know what NWOR is in terms of location. And say hi to the Astro Geek in UK. Hi, Astro Geek. I say hi to you. And Northwest Oregon. I was right. Yes, Russell. That's awesome. Okay, let's keep going. And just a second, I'll have also the chat messages on my live chat, so that on my phone, so like I don't miss most of them while I am processing. We also have Enrique, I see all the time on my comments. Hola Cuiv, greetings from Mexico. Thanks for joining the stream. And the Astronomy Dude, hello from Southwest Virginia in the US. Then Venom, modern phones have much more computing power than ASI Air. Have you heard any rumors about whether Nina will ever be released on Android Apple phones? No. We do have Stefan in the house, so he can answer directly, but I don't think that's a priority for now. Although there is Qualcomm Silicon that's coming, so who knows? Anyway, going back to PixInsight. So the goal is to be... basically, we want to align those images. I don't know if they're already aligned or not, but I know that what I will want to do is do some background extraction on both. And by the way, you can see that the galaxy is centered in both images, and this is because I have managed, after a lot of pain and frustration, to align the two scopes of my dual scope setup to be roughly pointed at the same point. So I think what I'm going to do first is, what do I want to do? Maybe just dynamic crop, because I have some weird artifacts there on the top left, and I want to just concentrate on the galaxy in the middle. Also, small word about the quality of the frame. Those oblong stars, they're actually not due to tracking issues, they're due to collimation issues. I had messed up with the Frankenscope and forgot to recollimate my scopes. The stars in the bottom right corner were actually pretty spot on round. So yeah, that's a bit of a bummer, but whatever. We're just gonna crop this image on the galaxy itself, just so that we have the focus point of our study, M51, here in the center of the frame. And I don't recall if those two frames are aligned to one another, so maybe I'll cancel this session for now, and we'll do a quick star alignment between the two first, right? Just to make sure that the images are aligned to one another. And this is something that I think a lot of the beginners, when they start PixInsight, they kind of struggle with, like, okay, I've stacked my images separately. How do I make sure they're aligned to one another? And this is the tool that you would be using. The process star alignment is what we'd be using. Let's see. Hello from Cleveland, Victor Green. Hello, Victor. Thanks for joining. Fruity Records, evening Cuiv. Good morning. Fruity, thanks for joining. I just purchased a 10-inch Quattro. Wow, you like punishment. Getting some vignetting with just a 294 MC using the Skywatcher chroma corrector. Have you experienced any with yours? I mean, I have vignetting with my APS-C size sensor, but I don't mind vignetting that much since it mostly gets, fixed with flats. Depends, what are the star shapes like in your corners for your 294? Then we have Russell. Yes, we have a dark sky preserve over on the eastern side of Oregon. Many places are starting to protect their dark areas now. Yeah, please, this dark area protection would be nice if we got the same in Japan, but then Japan is a bit more space restricted than the US. Deep Space Astro. Hi Cuiv, saying hi from Northeast Ohio. Deep Space Astro from Ohio. Ohayo gozaimasu. Good morning or good evening for you. And we also have quite a lot of other people. The astronomy dude. I modified an ES20 inch dub to a tracking go-to. That is really cool. Well done on doing that. DSTMar. Hello from Canada. Just decided to get into photography. Thanks in part to your wonderful videos. DSTMar, I am so sorry for getting you into this hobby. It is a black hole, a pit of blackness, of frustration, tears, despair, and lost money. But welcome to the hobby. It is a lot of fun. Sladzioslav. Hey Cuiv, first time tuning in from Berlin. Having a nice clear night tonight. Using it to the fullest. That's awesome. So don't waste time in the stream, but thanks for joining anyway. Rigobert van den Merken, I see you quite a lot on my comments. Thanks for commenting all the time, and thanks for joining the stream. Rigo from Belgium, retired in the south of Spain. Now that is going to be a nice place to image. Just saw your last Patreon video, Newton versus refractor. Was surprised from the difference in quality. Yes, Newton versus refractor. It's an upcoming video for YouTube. Probably end of this week, maybe tomorrow. I'll see. It depends on my mood. Just released on Patreon yesterday. Marius, have you tried or thought about trying the asteroid occultation part of civilian science? Accurate timing is of the essence, and everything is done with analog TV signals and GPS video time inserters. I can't say that I've thought of that, but it sounds like a huge side hobby that I probably don't have the time for. Oh, and by the way, while we are doing the processing, feel free to interrupt me anytime with any questions you may have about astrophotography, about your rig, about what camera to choose, scope to choose, mount to choose, what process to use, or you can teach me what process I should be using during this processing, or ask me any questions about like Japan, my life, anything. Feel free. Microphone gain is quite high. Okay. Is this a bit better? Let me know if this is better in terms of the microphone gain. Thanks for letting me know. The handsome rabbit. Ooh, I now picture a very handsome rabbit. Do you think we will ever see an Astro camera that works like a DSLR, like a built-in screen on an Astro camera? Well, I think in a way the ZW ASI 2600 MC Air is somewhat like that, except that your screen is your smartphone. So that's probably the closest we'll see. I don't see the point of having a screen on the Astro camera because you would have your smartphone on you, and if you have like the smartphone with the ASI Air integrated, then it should be more or less fine, right? Marco Snyder, hello from Slovenia. Hello, it's late there, so thanks for joining. Astro Escape, hello there, Cuiv. Hard things going for you, man. It is raining and cloudy outside, so it's not the best yet in terms of astrophotography. The work and my job is super stressful, but otherwise, doing great. Thank you so much. And sorry for the bad weather. Cuiv got my 533 MC Pro yesterday. I knew it was all your fault. I knew it. And Dinmore, not clipping anymore. Awesome. Thanks for letting me know. I'm glad I was able to adjust that audio for you. Chat is not visible in the stream. We can see you moving your mouse around the comments. Ah, that's a good point. I don't know how to make it visible without making my whole interface, streaming interface visible. Let me see. I don't know if I have setting for that. Oh well. Never mind. Lost half the volume. Yes, because the volume was clipping. I'm going to adjust in the middle. This should be the middle. And Cuiv, have you heard anything about the TaupeTech Mini PC? Yes, I have. The Astro Station, right? I'm waiting for TaupeTech to finish with the beta testing and to send me one so I could test it. It's basically an open ASI Air, kind of like I hope it is going to be basically a StellarMate Pro with the ease of use of the ASI Air. We'll see, fingers crossed. Same here, audio low, so Dean Moore, it's all your fault. Feel free to adjust, of course, your audio settings on your side, but I think we are at a compromise here. What do you think about the combination between 150mm telescope and a 1/8 of an inch sensor with 2.9 nanometer pixels? The 1/1/8 inch of a sensor, isn't that like the 585? Wait a second, IMX, so let's say ASI 585. Is that a 1/8 of an inch sensor, or is it 1/1.2 inch sensor? I wouldn't mind, obviously, but if that's the ASI 585, no, it's 1/1.2. That's probably a right size. 1.8 would probably be too small, but it's really completely up to you. Perfect audio, Pujo Jojo, that's great to know. Luis Eduardo Patrao, hi, your videos are really good. I'm Brazilian and my English isn't very good. Could you please tell me which setup you used for the capture? Yes, for this capture, I used my Dual Frankenscope. So we have two 150mm Newtonian next to one another, mounted on my Warp Astron WD-20 mount. And one of them was using the ZW ASI 2600 MC Duo, the other one the TaupeTech with the IMX 571 sensor, so the same main sensor. Cuiv, does the Skywatcher compare to the Apertura in quality of the mirror and contrast? I suspect that the optics are basically like the mirrors themselves. They're probably the same. It's probably like GSO kind of optics, whatever. They all have like the same kind of manufacturer. Everything is the same these days in terms of the pure optics. That's my feeling. And then it's all about quality control and choosing the best optics for your scope and having the good mechanics on top. But overall, it's roughly the same quality. I am making a video about like the star flares that I've noticed in my initial review that I thought would be fixed with a primary mirror mask to hide the clips of the primary mirror, but they're not gone. So I suspect I might need a lens hood, something like that. I'll do more tests, but I'll have a short video detailing that issue that I'm seeing with the carbon star. I've shot the video, I haven't edited it, so once I edit it, I will put it first on Patreon and then on YouTube. Okay, what else do we have? I got the chance to do visual astronomy from the tidy park with an 82 centimeter telescope. I could see M51 like in the image. I am so jealous. Hello from North Carolina, Wesley Johnson. Hello. Thanks for joining the stream. Hello from Canada. Love your content, Woody. You're number one. I am not number one, but thank you anyway. Astro-Escape, you need to use an OBS Streamlabs plugin to show chat above the main stream with a transparent background. So I use OBS, but I don't have a plugin. I'll look into it later. And Brian McCarthy is saying, good evening from the UK. And there we go. Let's keep going with the processing. So I'm back on my main processing window here, and we are going to do a quick star alignment. So my reference image, we have two images, and actually before we do that, I'm going to rename them. We have the luminance image on the left, and we have the narrowband image on the right. And the first thing that I'll do is this star alignment. So we are going to align the narrowband image to the luminance image using this process, and that should give us a new view with the aligned image. So we should be, hopefully it's going to work. We should be able to see what happens. Okay, we are processing. Let me see if I can show you my interface. Just a moment. Stream, output, video. I think there was an option somewhere in the software that I use to show you or hide the interface, but I cannot find it right now. Okay, well, for now, that's it. I'll go back to PixInsight, and we have the registered image. So I'm doing control-click on this STF button, because control-click is to do an unlinked stretch, and shift-click, and now I'm doing a shift-click, this to do a linked stretch, because I haven't done any background extraction. Obviously, right now, it's not ideal. And it looks to me like the images were already aligned, but just in case, I'll close the first window and call that NB. And now I'll do first a dynamic crop, so we can go down to the level of the image. So dynamic crop, we're just going to center on the galaxy here. And once I'm done, I've set the crop on one of the images, I can just drag and drop the icon to the other image and then validate. So we have the crop on both sides. I will be losing my astrometric solution. That might be a problem for the spectrophotometric color calibration later, but whatever, we'll see what happens. Okay, so now I have both of those images have been cropped, and both of those are less than 3 hours of data from Tokyo, while I had finally a short, clear night. So yeah, it's probably not the best. Okay, let's have a look quickly at the chat after this Operation Cuiv. I always wanted to know. So Marco is asking, how many languages do you speak? I counted French, English, and Japanese. Any other? No, that is it. French, English, and Japanese, nothing more. While in high school, I learned a little bit of German, aber ich denke, dass ich alle mein Deutsch vergessen habe. So I don't really remember my German, although sometimes I kind of understand what's being said if I'm speaking with like a German friend of mine in Japan. Stu Hugh really enjoyed your review of the Sea Star, brought the fun back in the hobby for me and can engage friends with it. That's what I really like with the Sea Star. not the best tracking, not the best optics, not the best sensor, but as a package, it's an amazing package for the price as well. Isaac, personal question, if you don't mind me asking, what do you do for a living? I'm a software product manager for a software startup here in Japan. Lee, hello from Southeast Connecticut. Hello Lee, thanks for joining the stream and thanks for supporting the channel as a member. Daniel, couldn't you do a single weighted batch pre-processing with both narrowband and broadband? That way you would have the two final stacks that are registered. I now realize that's probably what I did because they were aligned to one another. I just forgot what I did. Isaac, did you use Drizzle for this data? Yes, I used Drizzle for this data. These days I feel there's no reason to not Drizzle because you can always resample the image down later on afterwards, and it makes a big difference when applying blur exterminator process. And we have Luis Eduardo Patarao. Welcome to Lazy Geek. You became a member just now. Luis, welcome to the channel. Thanks for your support as a member. And when are you going to get your hands on a Dwarfs 3? I have no idea. I hope to get my hands on one because it looks to be a good compromise, like in between the Dwarf 2 and the C-Star, and more portable, which is really good because portability is really important. And in the end, when I went for the Eclipse in the US, I brought my my Dwarf telescope here rather than the C-Star, simply because of the size. Okay, we are caught up, so let me go back to my processing here. We have the two galaxies, they're aligned with one another, and we have done some dynamic crop. So now I'm going to do the usual and go for the Graxpert process. So by the way, if you've watched my videos, you probably installed Graxpert as a script. So you probably have it somewhere like utilities, Graxpert denoise, that kind of stuff. But you can also install it as a process. If you go like to resources, updates, manage repositories, I think this one, PixInsight, deepskyforge.com/update/Graxpert-process is what you want to add in there to get this this process. And I don't think it even requires Graxpert installed. I'm not even sure anymore, but it works pretty well. So we're going to do a background extraction, replace the image, and I'll set the smoothing to half for now because the gradients on those look very smooth, right? So I probably don't need an aggressive background extraction, and just apply this on both, one after the other. See what's going to happen, right? To see what we get here. Then we have what scale and drop shrink did you use for Drizzle? So typically I use a scale of 2 and a drop shrink of 0.9 with square kernel for drizzling. Matthew Peters, hi Cuiv, as a newbie to processing, do you tend to follow the same flow for images? Do you have a preferred set of process icons posted anywhere? Yes and yes. So I have a video where I do some processing with some process icons. I can load those process icons like here, and they should appear there. But for today, I don't want to use process icons because I want to make sure that I go really step by step to be processing with you with no like cheating and hiding the stuff that I'm doing via process icons. Anyway, Graxpert has been done for the left-hand side of the image. Let's do it for the right-hand side of the image as well, right? Because we have, as a reminder, on the left we have luminance, and on the right we have the narrowband data. How are you guys today doing? It's the evening, I think, late evening in the in Europe, and we have early morning here in Japan, and we have what early evening or early evening, late afternoon in the US, or even early afternoon, I guess, in California, something like that. What do you think of the new Graxpert denoise 301 and 302? I don't know. I haven't really tested them that much yet, so I'm not sure. This one, oh yeah, I have the AI model 3, but I honestly don't know for now. Astro-Escape, people misunderstand the C-Star. It's not meant to be a it's not meant to be a high-level imaging device, that's for sure. It's for beginners and perfect for outreach, absolutely. And in a pinch, it can serve as an imaging rig if you want to go somewhere and want something fairly light, but that has some good capabilities to bring with you. It works, right? The C-Star fits perfect on the helicopter flight to my rig. Pujo Jojo, that is such a cool thing to say. I know you realize it's a cool thing to say. If someone is joining the stream, Pujo Jojo is actually on an oil rig right now. So yeah, Pujo Jojo, that's dedication from an oil rig. Wombat Zone asks, how often do you dither with your subs when taking them? So if I'm doing narrowband, I typically have 5 minutes long subs, and I'll be dithering every single sub, so every sub. And if I'm doing like 30 seconds or 60-second exposures, like in this case with this image, I was taking 60-second exposures. I dithered every 5 frames. And so because the two scopes are linked to one another, I have to make sure that we have multiple of frame lengths because I'm using synchronized dithering, and I wanted to make sure that I was also dithering at the same intervals between the two. So basically every 5 minutes. Lee is asking, is there a reason you cropped before doing Graxpert? Not specifically, but Graxpert, I feel, doesn't really care whether it has access to more or less information about the general gradient. It just works with what it is given and doesn't really ask questions. So I think it can work either way. And I feel like actually doing the Graxpert process before cropping to the target, it makes the whole image better. But then if I go to the center of the target, maybe I'll have some weird gradient left. Who knows? Then Fruity Records, Clouds. Same here, mate. It's been horrible. So if I do have now a camera. Oh wow, some weird ads first. Sorry about that, but I do have a camera on my rooftop. I still have not registered for the paid thing, but yeah, that was yesterday. Seems like a snapshot from yesterday. This is right now. On the camera you can see rain has pooled onto my table there, so I guess it is raining outside. That is the current condition of my rooftop. So not ideal at all. So I feel for you, mate. Then Astro-Escape, cropping first gets rid of stacking artifacts. That is a good point as well. Let me get rid of that window. And Pete's astrophotography, cloudy as always here in Scotland, mates. I emphasize it's been so frustrating here, and we're not even officially in the rainy season. We're entering the rainy season later this month, so it's very, very painful. Then we have Wombat Zone. Yeah, okay, it allows the AI to get a readout on usable data. Smaz Sky, it's pretty clear here on the west side of Florida. We need some rain though. It's supposed to rain in a few days, I think. Okay, so we have the opposite problem. Okay, well, I hope you do get some rain and then clear skies again. That would be perfect. And yeah, I'm on the Tulip Nebula tonight with my RC6, and this scope's given me a lot of headaches. It's finally kind of collimated and usable. It took me only 1.5 years, and I've almost solved it twice. Mate, I understand. So the RC6 scope and the RC8 as well, they're well known for being uncollimatable, like almost as a design flaw. So well done for persisting and getting it there. Still raining here in Macclesfield. Completely understand why the Lovell telescope is a radio telescope. Yeah, radio telescopes don't care that much, do they? Eduardo Pesina, hi, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. And we're gonna process this. Okay, Blur X before noise X or other way around? Yes, blur X before noise X, typically. Unless you have some very noisy data, like what I had with a C-star with a short session, I would always do blur X because you'll lose some details with noise X and some information that blur X could use. And don't even bother with my name. Yes, I'm sorry, Sladioslav. Tell me how to pronounce it. And what's more frustrating here, oftentimes it's clear in daytime, but cloudy, rainy at night. Yes, in the Tokyo plains, you're in Saitama, right? I know the feeling. It will be beautiful, clear skies during the day, and then it gets cloudy at night. This is the Japanese summer. It's so frustrating. Okay, let's go back a bit to processing. So what have I done? I've done Graxpert on both of those images. And so yes, now I will do on both of those images, I guess we can do, actually, first I'm going to do now a linked stretch using the Shift key while clicking on this at the same time on both of them. So we've done basically a background neutralization. And what I want to do is a spectrophotometric color calibration on this left image, which is the luminance. So I'm going to go to Script, Image Analysis, Image Solver, because we need to solve this first. And it seems, I think those are the coordinates actually for M51. So it probably got them from the image originally, while I don't know why it got them. And this looks like the right image scale with the correct pixel size. Because I've drizzled, I need to divide by 2 the size of my pixels. So I have like virtual pixels that are half the size of my normal pixels. Let's see if this works by validating and seeing if this is going to be okay. Okay, we've done the spectrophotometric color calibration. So this is the kind of colors we get. It's okay, I guess. Not the best right now, but we're going to make do. So now that I've done this step, let's see if there's any questions. And tell me, by the way, if there's a tool you want me to use in the processing, let me know. Then I asked... Aha, Lee was asking about, that's a very good point. So Lee is saying that he asked about whether to crop before using Graxpert because he was having issues with M81 and M82 with the L extreme. The flats were really red and Graxpert didn't remove all of the gradient. And yes, trying to crop first might be a good way to deal with this. Okay, now that we have... Oh, and yes, check the brightness of your flats. Red flats to me say too bright for flats, should end up grayish. That is a good point. This is something, so let's talk about flats for a moment, if you don't mind. This is something that I've noticed. I know that a lot of software, and even I think the default on the flats wizard is in Nina, is to set the default target level of the histogram for flats to 50%. Of the available ADUs, the available range of your sensor or your translated sensor in Nina once you download the image. And sometimes I see that this is, at least in my case, too much. So I like to get that down to 30% of the histogram. And that works really well for me most of the time. So if you're having trouble with flat and you're using the default settings of 50% of the histogram, try pulling that down to 30%, and for me at least it works better. So just maybe that can help. How much integration time is in the narrowband frame? So both frames have the same integration time of around 160 minutes only. So that's just 160 minutes of data each. Why do I think you only solved the image and not SPCC? Good reminder, Marco. I only solved the image. It's early morning on Monday. I'm so sorry. So now we need to do the spectrophotometric color calibration. That's why I have you guys here, to catch me when I make those bad mistakes. Like if I fall, you guys will catch me. Thank you so much, guys. So let's see. Yes, I'm on the right screen, and I want to do spectrophotometric color calibration. And for the luminance data, I keep the same data, and I shouldn't need really to neutralize the background because I've already done it effectively with Graxpert. But I will still select a preview here in an area with no or little stars, and then I can just add this preview as a region of interest by dragging and dropping the tab here, and then I can apply this spectrophotometric color calibration. Default settings, they seem to work well, and it tells me that the image has no valid astrometric solution. Wait, what? Didn't I just do that? Wait a second, what is happening? Image solver. Let's try again. Okay. Is that, did I, am I going crazy here? Let's try again. Ah, now it's working. So probably unintentionally I had solved my narrowband image rather than the luminance image. Okay, and this looks like it worked. Now, when you look at those curves, by the way, if you do not see a lot of stars that were detected, that's fine usually, as long as the stars are well, aligned on the fit that was found, then you're perfectly good. So this is a perfectly fine spectrophotometric color calibration. Let's do a linked stretch on this, and now the colors look much more like I would expect from M51. So we have some good colors on the luminance image. I'm not going to mess with the RGB, the narrowband image, because we'll torture it a lot following the continuum extraction process that I will need to get to. So we are going to do some more stuff. So let's see. Let me check quickly what is happening with you guys. You just solved the image. You didn't do color calibration. Yes, you caught my mistake. Thank you so much. Locaton to off-axis guide, R2 not off-axis guide, EQ6R Pro with Edge HD 9.25. Yeah, 100% off-axis guide. It's going to be rough. You probably want to go with an off-axis guider. If you have a Celestron, then you go for the Celestron OAG. Like first thing, you go with the Celestron OAG. That thing is a tank. It's beautifully built, and it has a very large prism. Highly recommended. And two, on top of that, you should use an IMX174 type of sensor, like large chip, because that way you will have large pixels, large chip, so you can find stars even when it's difficult to find stars. Celestron OAG plus 174 sensor would be a good combination for you. Not doing off-axis guiding with a Celestron 9.25 is to ask for trouble. You will get, let me go myself full screen so that I can get the message across even more. Do off-axis guiding with that Celestron. You otherwise, even with a large guide scope, you risk differential flexure. And if it's a 60mm guide scope, very often those will come with those rings around the scope, and that can even encourage flexure more. Where across a long exposure, let's say 5 minutes long exposure, your guide scope and your main scope, they get off, like there's some slight flexure in the metal that is connecting the two telescopes. And that will affect the, like your guide scope might have perfect guiding figures, but your main scope has actually deviated by microns of deviation, right, from the guide scope, but that's enough to have star trails in your image. So go OAG, definitely. Okay, then Lee at Cuiv, thanks. I'm going to cut down my percent of mean for flat frames to the lower amount next time I use it. Okay, let's see if that that works out. And Sladzioslav, if oh, and some flats came out red. Yeah, try it 30%. It doesn't hurt. Maybe you take your flats at both. Don't forget you can take multiple sets of flats at the same time. So if you have a doubt, just take your flats at 50%, 40%, 30% of histogram, and then you're ready for all situations. If one of them doesn't work, and you've already disassembled the scope, then you can just use the other one without any regrets. Okay, so I see there are other questions, but I'll answer them while processing. So we've done up to now the color calibration. Sorry, I'm playing with my phone because I'm also opening in the stream in my phone, except that it is not working. I just want to be able to see the comments when I am processing at the same time. So let's go to my channel live. And of course it's not working. Of course it's not working. So I cannot see the chat while I am processing. But now that we've done background extraction on both the luminance data and the narrowband data, now we are going to do blur exterminator, I guess. So blur exterminator, I think I can do it on both. Should work. So BXT is here, blur exterminator. So if you haven't heard of this plugin, this is the GOAT plugin. It is expensive, but man, it is worth every penny. So let's apply blur exterminator to this image and we'll see the before after once it's done. It's honestly pretty amazing. In the meantime, questions. Oh, sorry, I wasn't showing my streaming. So we have blur exterminator, and blur exterminator is running here. So we have a lot of messages there. So Sheriff, Cuiv, do you ever do mosaics? How do you avoid the lines that show up at the boundaries of each panel? So I don't do mosaics. Mosaics are too complex for me. Plus you need to like kind of align the levels between the frames. It's too much pain. I'll just avoid the pain. I have enough pain in the hobby as it is without trying to do mosaics. If I want to do a mosaics, I'll just go for a wider field scope rather, or larger sensor camera rather than having to do a mosaic. Anything but mosaic. Thomas is saying the Celestron OAG also has the greatest variety of connection options. That it does. It's an amazing OAG, honestly. Stu, Hugh, do you see the real development in astrophotography in the development of the software apps? C-Star being a perfect example with its updates and development. I'm not sure exactly what you want to ask me there, Stu, but there has been a lot of progress in software in general. I mean, look at Nina. Nina didn't exist 5 years ago, or barely existed 5 years ago, and now it's like the go-to piece of software. Same for the ASI Air, although, to be fair, the ASI Air is working thanks to ECOS and K-Stars, right? Open source projects are the reason that the ASI Air exists. This is something that is forgotten far too often. George, been watching your videos for several months. After your C-Star video, I bought it and recorded the eclipse. That is awesome, George. It was such a magnificent eclipse. I'm so glad you got to see it and that you could record it. And you just became a Patreon member of the channel. Man, thanks so much for your support. Every bit helps out because it might not show, but all of those videos, they're actually a huge amount of work, and there's actually a lot of preparation work for those videos, especially when it's trying to do a review, because it's sacrificing also a lot of my imaging time. So those donations and support, they help so much. Pete, astrophotography, +1 for OAG. I used it on all of my rigs now. Again, OAG is the way to go. I even use it on my Red Cat right now. I have an OAG on my Red Cat and it works great. And it's better because you have access to full focal length of your scope. And if it's for a wide field rig, technically you don't need the OAG, but then it makes things more compact. And the OAG, you'll never, with a wide field rig, you always have stars in the OAG, so it's not going to be an issue. I asked Luke this yesterday. Well-calibrated flats is the key. Yes, flats, by the way, one thing that is often forgotten about flats is the fact that they need to be well-calibrated, at least with bias frames. So it's either bias frames, and for well-behaved sensors, I just take like 1 second long bias frames with the cooling at -10 degrees, like all of the other frames, and I use that as with my flats, or dark flat. with exactly the same exposure time as the flats. That also works, but they absolutely need to be well calibrated. Otherwise, you'll have a small offset with your flat calibration that can cause, typically, it will be overcorrection of your images. Like your vignetting is corrected, but corrected too much. And your dust motes, they tend to have this weird like 3D effect in the corrected image that's often due to poor bias frames or poor flat darks. And even if you take your bias frames and you're taking them in an area that has some stray light, some of that can filter to your camera sensor somehow. And so I always take my bias frames and dark frames. I mean, I don't take dark frames these days, but always take my bias frames with my scopes covered in the middle of the night, just to be on the safe side. Okay, so we've done some processing there, and let's have a look at the before. Actually, yes, let's have a look at the before and after on Blur Exterminator. As usual, Blur Exterminator is the GOAT, right? It is working amazingly. And I'll go on the other side and also do a quick Blur Exterminator on the other galaxy to see what that gives us. Okay, then Wombat Zone. I was happy with those guide number till OAG. Now 0.1 to 0.4 RMS. Yeah, OAG, there's the OAG effect. It's difficult to get back to OAG once you've tasted the sweetness of it. Pete's Astrophotography. Cuiv, do you do a correct only first in BXT? I find I get better results running it with this checked first, followed by running it without. Huh, no, I've never tried that. You know what? We're gonna try right now. So actually, I'm gonna make a clone of this image with like the default Blur Exterminator kind of applied. And I'm going to go back and we're gonna do correct only first, okay? And let's see what that gives us. I've never even attempted that. So thanks for the suggestion, Pete. Okay, correct only, this is before, after. So this corrects the star shapes with my poor collimation. That's good. And now I remove correct only. Is that the right way to do? And then I apply it. I guess that's the right way to do what you suggested. And let's see what that gives us. Okay, so this is the before and after. Very interesting results. Let's try and see how it looks like compared to just Blur Exterminator on its own. I'm trying to see. It's difficult to tell. I honestly don't see much of a difference, at least in this particular image. But let me know if you can spot something else. But you know, while we're at it, let's just keep going with your technique in the processing. That's why I'm here. I like to get you guys' input on here. And we've also applied, by the way, Blur Exterminator on the other image. And by the way, on this other image, we were talking about OAG and flexure a moment ago, right? You see those stars that are slightly oblong in the y-axis, kind of up-down direction? That is not poor guiding, that is not poor collimation, that is actually flexure between my main scope and the secondary scope. It's not as bad as I feared, but there is definitely some flexure going on between the two. And when you're not using an OAG with a long focal length, you could have the same issue. Okay, Taha Demir, I can't get Blur X right now. Would you make a tutorial on manual deconvolution and sharpening tips? I am very, very sorry, but no, I've never managed to do proper manual deconvolution. There used to be a script by Dark Archon from the Easy Processing suite called Easy Deconvolution that worked pretty well. I think someone has taken it up now, so you could search for Easy, what's the name? Easy Deconvolution and see what happens. And Wombat Zone finally named my observatory, Sunny Stars Observatory East Coast Australia? Aussie is Australia, right? That's an awesome name. Guys, what do you think of the name? Sunny Stars Observatory. That is, I think, absolutely awesome. Love that. And I just realized I'm really tired this morning that I had only top chat on. I want to have live chat on. And now that my phone has rebooted, I will try to access my video again so I can see what you guys are telling me while we are doing this. So let me open up on YouTube, on my smartphone, the video so we can see what's happening. So I can see personally what's happening without having to switch between screens on the computer. I'll try to get a better layout next time. And I don't know why it does not want me to open my own stream. Like, nope, not allowed. Ah, there it is, finally. And we are going to switch that for me to be all messages there. That way I can see your messages without having to switch screens. Okay, back into processing. So we've done blur exterminator. We haven't done noise exterminator yet. So I think I'm going to do a quick noise exterminator on both images. And noise exterminator, it's also a paid plugin, right? But if you don't have the dough to buy noise exterminator, these days Graxpert's noise reduction does a pretty good job on images, especially when they're linear images. So really, really recommended. Okay, Blur X is worth the money from Wombat Zone. Yeah, Wombat Zone, I fully agree. So let me apply this noise exterminator on both images. Here we go. And Comer, where is that streamer neon light in the background? My man is gonna be pro. Yeah, you know, isn't it too much? I've seen even other Astro YouTubers have those like nice, like purplish lights, whatever, in the background. I'm like, should I buy this from Amazon and put it there? But then I'm like, nah. maybe I'll do it. You'll know I've jumped the coop. Okay, then there's Tahademir. Try Deep SNR. Most people prefer it against Noise Exterminator. I'll try at some point. I've heard of it. So Deep SNR. Deep SNR. It's like I wanted to download it, but yeah, I don't know. I will try it at some point. I probably won't do it today, but can other confirm if you've used Deep SNR compared to Noise Exterminator? Do you get better results than Noise Exterminator? Let me know. Okay, so now that we've done this, we have the unstretched images with some details and the Noise Exterminator there. I wonder if I was too aggressive with Noise Exterminator on the details here, but now it looks kind of okay. So I think we're good here. So the next point is I want to try something that I've actually never done before, which is continuum subtraction. So continuum extraction. So continuum extraction is a method where you can get the H-alpha narrowband data from M51 here. So those red dots all over the place, extract them from the image, remove everything else, and then you can add just those back to the main galaxies. You can add the H-alpha data into the galaxy. And also oxygen 3 data, but to be honest, I don't see a lot of oxygen 3 data, so I'll probably try with H-alpha only for now. And to do that, we need to split the channels of both images. So if you're joining the stream, by the way, just to be clear, I'm not inventing anything. This is from this full tutorial video from SETI Astro. And this is an amazing video. If you go to SETI Astro YouTube channel, that's the name of the channel here. This video is a gold mine. I watched it yesterday. Hopefully, I'll be able to reproduce the steps. Otherwise, you can guide me through, right? I can trust you, chat. You can help me. Oh yeah, I should add a James Webb model behind me just to be a little geek here. Okay, Dylan on Stuff did a recent tutorial using Deep SNR, very comparable. That is very good to know. Then what else? And Focus AG, I used Deep SNR. In my opinion, Noise X still beats it in every aspect. The Deep SNR is very good, but if you don't want to spend the money on Noise X, the Deep SNR is from the same guy from StarNet++. Very good to know. Oh, and also Deep SNR is only supported for images with monochrome cameras. Okay, because the Bayer matrix noise is different. Ah, very interesting. Okay, good to know. Philippe Fontaine, this might sound simple, but are the two telescopes connected as one? Or are these taking separate pictures and then processing them together? Physically, they're linked together by a dovetail, and there's synchronized dithering between the two of them. And I do have like a whole video with the first light and also the initial setup of those two telescopes, but there are two instances of Nina running. And so each instance of Nina is taking the pictures from each telescope separately. Okay, so for now, I will need to basically split the channels on both images. Actually, first, I saw that there was a new script from SETI Astro. So SETI Astro not only has a YouTube channel, but has amazing script where he can do, there's a script that automatically does a continuum subtraction utility, apparently. And you can actually do it directly in there. So I need H-alpha, oxygen 3, and sulfur 2 split. Okay, so first I'm going to do that. And I'm actually going to use a script. I'll probably do a video on that script soon called db extract. I think it's in utilities. So db extract is a script that you can add to PixInsight via manage repositories. And it is, I don't remember, there it is. dbextract.astrothetas.com. That thing is amazing. It takes, was it db extract? Sorry, I might have a brain fart, but let's try it. db extract, yes. So db extract will extract H-alpha, oxygen 3, and if available, sulfur 2 from your HaO3 and S2O3 images with your dual band narrowband filters, which is great. And so I can tell it that my NB image is an HaO3 image, and it will create, I don't need to create the whole SHO palette, but I click on extract, and it will create tons of intermediate images. But there you see, I end up with oxygen 3 and H-alpha. There we go, we have the two images, and I'm actually not going to use oxygen 3 really because I don't see a lot of features that would add to the galaxy for now. I'm just going to use H-alpha, and we have the H-alpha image here, right here. It's not very pretty, but we'll do something about this in a moment. There's a lot of debate going on between Noise Exterminator, Deep SNR, and that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Then we have Gorilla Kos. Hello from Greece. Hello. It's nice to have you on stream. Thanks for joining. So we've extracted H-alpha. And so now I can try the SETI Astro Continuum script again. And I'm going to search for the H-alpha image. And I'm going to select my L image as the RGB image. And we're going to click on execute and see what we get. So that script is basically supposed to isolate just the hydrogen alpha details from the hydrogen alpha galaxy. And there we go. Wow, that looks pretty neat. Oh wow, this worked. This is such an amazing script. So what did we do? This doesn't look like much, right guys? This is not a crazy thing here. But this is a continuum subtracted image, and the white dots are basically just the H-alpha data that was extracted like that via this continuum subtraction script by SETI Astro. And now I'll be able to use that to add to my broadband image as to add more H-alpha details. So that's going to be super interesting to see how it works. And Ryan says there's also Graxpert denoise. And yeah, I really like Graxpert denoise as well. I need to compare Noise Exterminator, Deep SNR, and Graxpert denoise to see how well they work. Gilles is asking, hi all, I understand using 2 instances of Nina for synchronized dithering, but I don't know how you control focus with dual scopes. Can someone help with, please? So it's actually not a huge problem because each scope has its own electronic focuser, right? And each scope has its dedicated instance of Nina. So what happens is if one scope is doing the autofocus at some point, it doesn't affect the other scope. But it's true that those 2 scopes will get kind of out of sync because like let's say scope A spent 2 minutes autofocusing while scope B was taking a 5-minute exposure. At the end of the 5-minute exposure, scope B will need to wait for scope A to catch up because scope A spent time on the autofocus and then it started its own, let's say, 5-minute exposure. So there, it will add overhead to the session. That is true. You will lose some imaging time because the scopes will be waiting on one another. That said, the autofocus itself is pretty seamless between the 2 scopes. I hope that that answers the question. Let's go back to the main processing here. So we now have, I can like iconize my oxygen and H-alpha images. It's amazing how much like the scripts, automated scripts, did all of the work for us, like dB extract and then like this continuum subtraction script, just like pump, it just worked, which was absolutely amazing. Now what do we want to do? Is this image stretched? Yes, so this is already stretched on the right hand side. This is just the white dots are where there is H-alpha data. And I might do a quick, I don't know what I'll do. I'll deal with that later. I have an idea because right now I used image with stars, and this is a recommendation from the author of the script to keep the stars because if you use star exterminator with small galaxies like M51, apparently you will lose some of the H-alpha details in the galaxy that you use for continuum extraction. Okay, let me see some more data. Have you done, oh, that's exactly what I was answering. So excellent timing. Had astronomy is asking, have you done star exterminator before doing continuum subtraction? So yeah, normally for most galaxies, you would want to do star exterminator first, and then you can do continuum subtraction because then you don't end up with those dots where the stars are there, right? But with M51 and other tiny galaxies, the author of the script recommends not doing star extermination. Those poor stars, and because it would remove some of those H-alpha blobs there, and we want to avoid that. Linux Astro, when you compare the noise method, remember to test both OSC and narrowband images. Sometimes what works for one type of image data doesn't do as well for the other. That's a good point. I might try first just OSC, just because that's what I mainly use myself, but it's a good point. I'll see what I can do there. Astro Escape, Cuiv, what is your biggest wishlist item from the PixInsight developers? Mine, more keybinds to make things a little faster. That is a good question. I think one of my wishlist items would be when I'm processing. Let's say, okay, I have 2 things and they're both about pre-processing. It's about either in the I want to have a fast integration script that also has the weighing of images. I want, because that would be super lazy, right? The script would weigh images and then do fast integration. That would work really well with my imaging sessions where I have thousands of subframes to stack. And I want to use fast integration, but I'm too lazy to do the pre-processing steps with subframe selector myself. That would be really nice. An alternative would be an auto cleanup by the weighted batch pre-processing script, where you could ask it to, after it's finished, using your calibrated frames and your debayed frames because it's registered them, it can delete them from the disk so recover space while you are doing the process. Because if I want to stack 2,000 images of my APS-C size OSC sensor at the same time, I need like 1.5 terabytes of data on my disk. I don't have that. So if you could have an auto cleanup, that could be really good. William House, greetings and salutations. Salutations, William. Welcome, well met, and welcome to the stream. Thanks so much for joining. We have 127 viewers. That's a lot of people. That's awesome. Sarah Santos Garcia. By the way, I recommend everyone see the video in which they explain the script, although it is in Spanish. DB extract, right? It's an amazing script. Try resampling your images to 75% before applying NoiseX and BlurX next time, Cuiv. Found it makes a massive difference. So I've actually tried that with my images. I prefer to actually, for BlurX, I would highly recommend doing BlurX before any resampling and resampling afterwards, because then BlurX has access to all of the data. In my tests, it works much better that way. Now, after resampling, then doing Noise Exterminator, I agree. That said, because this is such a small target in my field of view, and I want to keep all of the details, so I prefer not to resample at all for now. Combine screen transfer. Oh yeah, Blink. I wish, I don't know if I'm missing something, but I wish I could just like mass select stuff in Blink and then just right click and delete. Just like delete those images or move them to another folder without having to do it kind of manually. That would be awesome, because right now, Blink, it seems to miss that link to those images to do something with them. And also, by the way, in Blink, you say combine STF, but in Blink, what you can do, it kind of does that. If you open up Blink and you open your images, by default, they will have all of the same histogram or same STF applied, but you have this button here on the top left. If you click on it, it will basically apply an individual STF to all of the images. So maybe that's what you were asking for, in which case, this already exists. Always a good thing. Astro Escape, good answer. Didn't think of that. Storage space is one of the forgotten side effects of this hobby. Absolutely. Yeah, Blink is pretty awful in its current form. It works, but yeah. The icon with the X. Okay, so maybe for me, so the thing is, okay, I'm going to avoid showing my full browser because I'm not sure what I have in there, but let me add some random images to Blink while I'm not showing you my screen, so don't panic. Okay, I'm adding currently random images to Blink. They're not even debayed, but yeah, whatever, I don't care. It doesn't matter. And it's actually taking forever, but I want to see, because I've tried that before and I don't think it deleted the images. But Michael, if that's true, that's going to be a huge help. Oh, SFS, not STF. Sorry, SFS, subframe selector. All right, in Blink, that is a good point. At least having the weights available as a sorting criteria in Blink, that would be amazing. You have the subframe selector, the weights are there, and then you can use the weight to sort in the Blink process, so you can really confirm if that's the case. And if you're a subframe selector, you're using SNR as a factor, I found SNR does not work well, at least for me in Tokyo. It thinks that clouds are high signal to noise ratio. No, go to heck. So it's good to be able to confirm that. And hello from Spain, Isidro. Hello, welcome to the stream. It's past midnight, man, right? Go to bed. I'm kidding. Thanks so much for joining the stream. Let me quickly come back. I'm going to turn on the light here because there's so many clouds and heavy clouds outside here in Tokyo and rain that I could barely see my hands. So yeah, we have the blink process. So Michael, you're saying that if I have a frame selected, and this is going to close the image, but it doesn't delete them. Am I missing something? I'll just iconize this somewhere for now, and we can go back to it later if I see a reply there. Okay, so going back, for any new joiners, we have the luminance data, and then we have the H-alpha continuum subtracted data. So luminance data, now we can stretch. I think I'm ready to stretch. Would I want to do anything else before stretching the image? I don't think so. I'll give you a few seconds to tell me if I would need to do anything else, but I can't think of that. I don't see anyone. Oh yes, Michael, exactly. I mean, delete the actual file or move the actual file to a different folder. That's what I would hope to get, because then I can use Blink and directly from Blink just move the files to a no good folder or whatever. So then I can choose just the ones I selected easily for my stack. That would be awesome in PixInsight. Okay, so for the stretching, again, we're lazy here. We're going to do a stretch. So I'm going to go to, what am I going to do? Where is my stretch? So we want to use a tool called statistical stretch, which is also fairly new, and it is from SETI Astro, of course. How could I forget? Statistical stretch, which honestly works really well. But if I'm asked, does it work better than the Bill Blanchard process icon that I've been using up to now? I've compared the two like casually, and it seems very close to one another. So to me, it's not like a huge impact, but it's good to have it as a script rather than just a process icon. The target medium of 0.25 for me, I feel, is often too much. I can refresh the preview just so we can see how it would look like. But with a light polluted city like Tokyo, it's too much for me. So I would always bring it down to maybe 0.2. Let's refresh the preview just to see what we get there. Isaac, Blink already allows you to move files to another folder. How? Tell me how. Oh, I'm doing the script right now, so I cannot check Blink. But yeah, tell me how. Let me stretch even less. I don't want to overstretch the image as a first step, because then I can just do curves later on. And that's maybe the level I'm going to go with for now. So I'm just going to execute that stretch now. Oh, try enhancing the curves boost. Okay, let me close this image, go back to the unstretched image, and we're going to try the statistical stretch again with the curves. Oh, Astro Escape. Well, Cuiv, I'm out of here. Got some things to go to do. Sadly, no Astro clouds in the forecast. I feel you, mate. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining the stream. This is a lot of fun. Astro Escape. And yeah, let's keep going. Wow, it's 1 a.m. in France. Quentin, 1 a.m. Go to bed, man. But thanks so much for being on the stream. You guys, your support makes so many things possible. It's absolutely amazing. So try the curves boost. So let's try without the curves boost first. And then let's, oh darn, why did I click on execute? I wanted to click on preview. So I'm going to do that again. SETI Astro, statistical stretch. Click on not execute, preview refresh. There we are. Then Ryan is asking in the meantime, have you ever thought about sending a rig to a remote observatory? Yes, but no, I prefer to just have them on my balcony for things when things go wrong. I can have direct access for that to that. Curves boost, let's try like 0.20 and preview refresh. See what happens with curves boost. Is that a simple, I see what happens. Nah, I don't really want to use that. I want to use curves myself to do this kind of effect. So I'm probably going to go to a compromise target median of 0.17. We're going to refresh this. Nick, hey Cuiv, first time hopping on a live stream. Looks fun. Thanks for joining the live stream. Glad you could make it. It is a lot of fun. Everyone is having a blast asking questions. You can ask any question you like about anything. Someone in the chat can help you. We are processing M51 Galaxy right now. And yeah, what we're doing is we're now stretching the luminance image, and we'll be adding the data that you can see on the right with the H-alpha data. So we're having a lot of fun here. Then just hover over the icons, it will tell you. I'll check again. And shooting M101, that's a cool target as well, Quentin. That's been a lot of fun. Okay, so we're done with the preview there. So I'm going to execute the statistical stretch. And now we have a stretched luminance image. I'm going to quickly apply, no, I'm going to remove the stars first, actually. So we're going to do some star exterminator. There we go. And of course, if you're not using star exterminator, you can just use, what's the name? StarNet++, right, as a free tool. And we're going to just go with the default settings and apply this star exterminator to the image. That should create for us a star mask. And there we go, we have the star mask, and we've removed the stars from the image. So L stars, it's iconized. We're ready. And let me have another look at the blink icon. Series analysis report, crop and create video, crop the selected files by a green rectangle. Oh, move selected files to a new location. Aha, interesting. I didn't know about that. So when it says selected files, by the way, does it mean selected like highlighted like that, or selected with the checkbox? Because I actually prefer with the highlighted, but that is good. It's something that I will try. It will make things much easier. So thanks so much for the tip. That will be helpful. Let's go back to the processing. We have the galaxy here. M51, this is less than 3 hours of data from Tokyo. It tells you how bright this galaxy is, which I find absolutely incredible. Millions of light years away, and it's, I don't know, I can't fathom how bright that thing is. So let's do a quick curves transformation, and I'm going to add a preview. And we're going to do like a simple kind of S-curve. We want to darken the background, maybe increase a little bit the midtones. We need to find the right compromise where we are having the galaxy without killing, you know, the core, and without killing too much of the nebulosity around the galaxy. So having fun. Oops, not going too much overboard here. It's always, I like playing with curves, but I don't like the fact that I can never reproduce what I'm doing with curves. So if I do it now and then I repeat this process tomorrow, I will not get the same image at all, which is always interesting to see. Oh, Peter in Istanbul, 2 a.m. in Istanbul, man, dude. Thanks so much for joining the stream. Welcome. And yeah, it's a chill, quick processing session on M51. We have luminance data on one side, and then we have some narrowband data that we're going to add to the luminance data. I've never done this before, so we'll see how well it works. Gilles, sorry, Cuiv, gotta go. Early start later. Great stream. We'll watch the rest later. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much, Gilles. It's a lot of fun to have you guys and to be interacting with you. Like, bring on the questions, the remarks, anything. I've learned new stuff about Blink, something very obvious that I had missed, but now I know, thanks to you guys. So much support, guys. You are amazing. And highlighted is the answer for Blink, so that is great to know as well. Ryan, it's really crazy we're just casually editing another galaxy from Tokyo, no less. It is completely insane, right? Okay, for now, I'm just going to apply this. How about curves as NFT? Let's go. Oh man, I hate NFTs so much. I hate NFTs. NFTs are, well, oh no, what did I do? Did I reset my curves without applying them? There, you got me going with NFTs. So now I have to start my curves again. Oh no, shame on me, shame on me. There, don't talk about NFTs. That is the lesson. I hate NFTs. They're such a waste in my opinion. But yeah, that's just my opinion. If I ever publish an NFT that's not openly a joke, someone come and kill me. I would be like hopeless then. Okay, we're replaying with curves because I reset the curves by mistake. That's Cuiv on a Monday morning. What do you expect? Oops, that is bad. So playing with the curves to just enhance the contrast is before, after, before, after. I don't think we're pushing the chord too much, but I'm going to lower this a little bit just to be sure. Before, after. I think this is good. And we are going to apply. No, what am I doing? Why am I so tired today? There we go. We have the galaxy. Some of the nebulosity is also visible, which is pretty nice. And Cuiv has to play with curves again. Curves. Isidro, Cuiv, although you are really far from Spain, many of our Astronomy Spain YouTubers follow you. Natural Portraits, Astrotivisa. I didn't realize that. Guys, that is awesome. I guess the streams are, the videos are in Spanish, which is always a bit of a problem for me. No entiendo castellano, so sorry about that. But yeah, that is awesome. Thanks so much for this feedback. It's really good to know and to be sharing, the knowledge between different astro YouTubers. It's also awesome. I know that Spain has a lot of astro YouTubers. There's some in France as well, and there's a lot of hidden gems in there. So that is really good to see. Isaac, also, I wanted to mention that I appreciate the 1440p stream. Makes a big difference, especially for processing videos. I am glad I could do that. I'll try to also make sure my videos are like that going forward. I do have a video coming up this week about Newtonian versus refractor on this galaxy, actually with the same data, incidentally, and it's unfortunately 1080p, but I'll try to make sure to be 1440p most of the time going further. Ryan, the blockchain fixes this. Yeah, I've actually written an article in Linux magazine in France a few years ago, back when people didn't know what Bitcoin or the blockchain was, explaining how the blockchain works and how it solves the dual spending issue. And yeah, it was a really good article. I had a lot of fun, but to me, it has always been somewhat of a solution in search of a problem. But that's just me. That's a better curve now. So happy days. Exactly, Fruity Records. Thanks to you guys, I dismissed by mistake the curve that was less good than the curve that I achieved the second time. There we go. Amazing. The Astro Geek got to go to bed, buddy. Work in the morning. I will catch up tomorrow. Great work. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining the stream. It's been a lot of fun. And this Frenchie needs another espresso shot is what's wrong. I'm actually a tea drinker, so espresso doesn't really work for me. Okay, so what am I going to do next? Well, next I'm going to do a range mask because I want to increase the color in the galaxy without affecting the background. So for that, I'm going to go and go ahead and... Where am I? Range. Isn't there range? Is it range selection, the name of that process? Let's see. Let's see if that's it. So yes, I think that's, there you go. So I'm going to do some range selection. And range selection is a cool tool to really, when you have a galaxy, to really isolate the galaxy. So I'm going to try 0.16 here. I think that's not enough. 0.15. That's better. And you know what? I'll be fine with selecting a little bit of the background because we are going to blur that mask a lot afterwards. And that's going to remove anything that's selected in the background. I think that's a good start for me to do some, what's the name, color saturation. Maybe I'll go to 14.6. Let's see what we get with 14.6. Let's try this. The preview of that is actually not what you see is what you get. So I'll go and try it on the image. This creates a mask like that, but you can see there's a lot of the background that's been selected, which is not a good thing, but we can do something about this. Hopefully, we'll see, with the, what's the name? Convolution script here. So convolution, just use the standard dev upper slider to set it to some crazy value like 16, and that will blur the heck out of the image. And the background is much better, but it's still to some extent selected in blobs. So I'm actually not going to do that. I'm going to close this window and go to 0.15 maybe, as I was doing earlier, and try again. Let's see. Marnus FX. Hello, Marnus. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. It's been lots of fun just doing some casual processing of this galaxy. We're soon going to be adding the H-alpha data to it, and it's been super easy with the awesome script by SETI Astro. Highly recommended. Marcus, off topic, is the C6 Hyperstar still around? The C5 is on the way. I only have a lowly Star Adventure GTI for a mount, and I have no idea what I'm doing. RIP. Well, the C6 Hyperstar, I've mentioned it in a couple of videos and also in my last live stream. It died a painful death dropped by me on my balcony. That is one of the things with being an Astro YouTuber. You handle your equipment much more than you would like as a normal person, and it's dead. It's dead, Jim. The corrector plate broke, and so it was completely useless. And I actually ended up buying a C6 used that was quite cheap because it had a small scratch on the front corrector plate, but it just I had the Newtonian by then, and I was very satisfied with the Newtonian, and I was like, I don't need another scope, I don't need another Hyperstar. The CFO is looking at me weirdly, so I'll just sell it again. So I actually I no longer have the Hyperstar scope. Use the smoothness slider in range selection and save a step. So does the smoothness slider actually work as well? Quentin, good night. The baccalaureate at the end of the week. What? T'as le bac? Tu vas passer le bac? Quentin, you're 18? What? Tu vas passer le bac at the end of the week? Then the first one is the philosophy thing. Oh, I feel for you, mate. Oh, I feel for you. Good luck with the baccalaureate. And good night, mate. You need the rest. Baccalaureate for it's basically the A levels in France. It's torture for a week. It's horrible. Yeah, good luck. If I can kind of brag a little bit, I did get mention très bien at the baccalaureate. Barely, but I did get it. And the smoothness settings applies a convolution. Great to know. I didn't know. So that's great. Great learning stuff at the same time. So I'll close the convolution thing and smoothness. Let's try. Oh, it's just a convolution. That's great. I had no idea. And you're right, we're saving a step. I'm still including too much background, so I'll try 0.16 there and see what happens. Okay, I think this looks pretty good. I want to be greedy and go to 15.5 there for the range mask. Okay, I think that's going to be a good compromise. And we're going to apply that mask to the image. And we're going to do mask, show mask, and then some saturation. I want to try some saturation, see what happens. Quentin, bac de français. wait, so you're in première or seconde? I don't remember. Bac de français is when you're like 16 or 17, right? That's also not fun because, oh man, sorry, completely off topic, guys, completely off topic, but le baccalauréat in French, if it hasn't changed, at least in my time, it was 2 years or maybe like it was 1 year you had to do just the French thing, which was 2 steps. You had a written dissertation about some topic, about some novel that you studied during the French year by some other author like Victor Hugo or whatever. And you also have a second thing, which is an exam where you sit in front of the examiner one-on-one, and the examiner gives you a text excerpt of some like novel. For me, I remember it was Rousseau philosophy, about the introduction of the concept of property. I still remember it to this day. And the thing is, throughout the year, you study like a bunch of texts, like 30, 40 of them, a bunch of those extracts. So you kind of like learn by heart what to say for each, and then you regurgitate during that one-on-one with the examiner. It was a really weird experience. It was interesting, but really weird. And then 1 or 2 years later, you have the rest of the stuff with the philosophy, mathematics, physics, chemistry, history, geography, which is a pain in the butt. I hated that, but all of that fun stuff. 15, Quentin, man, we have a very young astrophotographer in the audience. Quentin is just 15 and preparing for the baccalaureate and should really go to bed, man. I'm not your dad, but oh man. 16 texts to learn. Yeah, it is painful. Yeah, je compatis. Good luck, mate. Quadbot just had a baby. Don't think I'll be breaking out the telescope for a while. Yeah, I know that. Guess I'll just have to enjoy some astrophotography by proxy for now. Well, if you can live vicariously through my videos and streams and others' streams, I'm glad for that. Anyway, back to the curves transformation. We can see what happens with some saturation there. And I'm probably going to apply that several times in a row, because I kind of like the result that I'm getting. I'm going to zoom in there. This is a bit aggressive, but whatever. We're playing around. I'll probably do a second round of processing later. And no, I'll remove the last step. And let's see. I'll do something that normally I wouldn't do, is also increase just the brightness of just that area. That helps separate the target from the background. But if you overdo it, it can be like a weird floating effect of the target. But let's try it this time and see what happens. There, I kind of like that. Like that pops out, right? That really pops out as a progress there. And because there's a lot of noise, you know what? I'm first going to invert the mask. So I'll go to mask, invert mask. And then for the background, I'm going to go to, again, curves transformation. Cuiv's favorite pastime, playing with curves. I'm not mentioning what type of curves I'm talking about, just playing with curves. That's all I'm going to say. And we're going to lower the saturation in the background, which should help a little bit. And we might, let's see what happens if I do that. Yeah, I'll take that. That's going to work. Whatever. Why not? Let's try it out like that. And we have a darkened background, which is normally not a good idea, but whatever. We're having fun. Okay, let's see. Do we have anything more? Quadbot, see, you can use so Marcus is telling Quadbot, see, you can use AP to make the most out of those sleepless nights. Because you have a baby. That is a good point. Woken up in the middle of the night, go and do some astro. And actually, that's what I tended to do. I was a visual astronomer at the time, but I do remember being woken up by a baby at like 2 a.m. or 1 a.m. and then not being able to sleep again. So just went out. I had my Meade LT6 visual rig at the time and then playing with that until the baby cried again. I mean, obviously, I did the astronomy after feeding baby. Come on, I'm not a monster. Okay, going back to our processing. So we've done, I think we've used the mask quite a lot, and I'm gonna remove the mask for now. And what I'm gonna do next is just an additional layer of noise exterminator, because I find that on those targets with very little exposure time, and I still cannot believe that this is just less than 3 hours of data, we're gonna do some blur exterminator. And no, not blur exterminator. What am I saying? What am I saying, guys? I really need that coffee. Noise exterminator. A second layer of noise exterminator on the image, and just see what's happening. Yeah, I kind of like that. This is good. This is good. I like this. I like this. We're doing some good stuff here, guys. This is good. I like this a lot. I'm probably going to do, I know what we're going to do about those stars. We're going to do something a bit weird. I'm going to take my range mask and place it on this image, okay? Then I am going to do a mask inversion. There we go. This is on my Continuum subtracted image with just the H-alpha nodules of the galaxy. And now I'm going to take my curves, because I love playing with curves again. I'm going to take the RGB and boop, stars be gone, without using the, I cannot really use the star exterminator process because it will remove some of the H-alpha nodules. There we go, stars be gone at your service. I don't know if anyone has ever done that, but it seems to have worked relatively well, right? I'm sorry about that. This is such a weird technique to use, but yeah, if it's stupid but it works, it ain't stupid, right? And then I'm gonna go back to my curves. Actually, maybe I'll reapply the mask again with those curves, and this time I'll keep the mask like that. And in my curves, I'll go for the red curve, and let me go to mask. I'll remove show mask, and H-alpha is red, right? So I'm going to increase the red. It's not doing anything. Oh, of course, because I don't have the preview on. Wait a sec. Aha. Shouldn't this colorize the image? Oh, wait. Image, color spaces, convert to RGB color. Okay, let me remove the mask. Mask. Remove mask. We're going to go image, color spaces, convert to RGB color. Now this is an RGB image. I'll add our stupid mask again. And now I'll go to curves, transformation, and apply. I want to make the image red, so I'll increase the red a little bit and get the green and the blue down. I'm not sure if that's the right way to colorize stuff, but I just want to get like my image to a color that I kind of like for H-alpha, because I'll be adding the H-alpha to the main image going forward. So those are our H-alpha nodules that I'll screen into the main galaxy image. And I guess this is going to be my colorized nodules of H-alpha. And there's a lot of like noisiness here, so I might do a tiny bit of convolution. Let me try that. Tiny bit of convolution. While I'm doing all of that, let's see, get some Russian tea. What is Russian tea? Is it like tea with, I'm sorry, this is a stereotype and I apologize for it. But is it tea with vodka in it? Because in Romania, I remember going out for lunch and they'd give you tea and a tiny little pot of tsuika, which is a Romanian kind of spirit. And you'd pour the tsuika into the tea for a little like punch. And wake yourself up before you can go back to sleep when you go back to work. It was awesome. And Ryan is saying that's exactly what I do to colorize monochrome solar images. So that's great. And what is the best written step-by-step guide for PixInsights? Dave is asking. I actually have no idea. I have no idea. Yeah, I learned PixInsight originally from a series of videos that was not even on YouTube from, I think it was Harry's Astro Shed. And that's what is made, like PixInsight together with Harry's Astro Shed's videos has made astrography possible for me from Tokyo. Without that, I would have given up. Maybe with a notch of blue, but look, blue will make the color magenta there, so I kind of want to avoid that. On my way to the office by car, listening to your stream like a podcast. Okay, so you have to imagine what we're doing while listening to the podcast. Be careful out there on the road, man. So going back to this, I was saying I wanted to do maybe a tiny amount of convolution there. See if I can like slightly blurify this. This actually wasn't enough. I just want to, like, there's a lot of noise that's going to be added there, and I want to kind of remove, there we go. Remove that noise. That's much better. I think that's going to be decent. And now that we have that, and I've removed a lot of the noise, we could try to screen that back into the main image. So we have, no, I'm not going to close the mask. I'm just going to remove it from the image. And you could also use denoise. That is true. Yeah, HA is naturally magenta-ish in color. HA is 656 nanometers. Magenta? Magenta? Blue and red? H-alpha? 656 nanometer? Really? I thought it was like more like deep red. Like 625 is here. Yeah, the H-alpha would be there. How magenta? Magenta, I don't get it. Explain it to me, please, in the chat. But anyway, I kind of like the color that we have here, so we're just gonna add this color as is. And to screen that in, we're gonna use the standard screen process. So I'm going to go to Pixel Math, and we're going to do some tilde of tilde HANB. So this is this image here. We're going to multiply it by $t, which is going to be my target with a tilde in front. So we're multiplying the inverts of both images and then taking the invert of that. And that is how you're supposed, I believe, to screen stuff back in. Let's try it. And wow, looks like it's working. Before, after, before, after. Oh, this is super cool. Before, after. This is the first time I do this, guys. So I'm actually going to revert my convolution on this image because I think the before after, it's too smooth, those H-alpha nodules. So I don't want to smooth them out. We're going to try, as Isaac suggested, some noise exterminator and see what happens there. So noise exterminator, where are you, my friend? There you go. Noise exterminator. We're going to put denoise to the highest level of 1 and try this. What happened? That didn't work. Oh, wow. Now that is weird. AI thinks that this is removing noise. Oh man, that is weird. So noise exterminator, nope. Nope, not gonna work. Maybe let me set detail to 0. Would that help? That is so weird. No, it's just weird. We're not going to use noise exterminator. That is very interesting. This is the first time I see gremlins like that. So maybe what I could try instead is to cut off the bottom half. So I could use a range thing, or I'll just use histogram transformation. Histogram transformation, we select H, A, and B. We look at the preview and take the... Why don't I see the histogram? Because the histogram is already kind of cut. What happens if I do this? And rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. Yeah, I want the main nodules and remove a lot of the noise. Okay, so before... After, okay, I think this removes a lot of the noise and we no longer... And this is probably what I'm gonna like. Yeah, this looks pretty good. So let's try again. Oh, wonder why Graxpert? That's a good point. Before clipping the darks, as I did, let's try Graxpert. I had forgotten about Graxpert. What would another AI-based denoising algorithm? I'll use 2.0 because it's faster, as far as I could tell. And what will it do with this particular image? Excellent idea. Quentin and Isaac, great idea. And NXT is known to produce artifacts at the denoise setting of 1. Try reducing that parameter. Okay, we can try that as well. But if Graxpert... Oh! Invalid value encountered in divide. Maybe because we have 0 values, Graxpert is having issues? Oh man! We're not having any luck with that that image and potential changes to the image. That's weird. Okay, so Graxpert didn't work out. Let's try AI model 3 and maybe 0.9 and see what happens. It's interesting. We're discovering stuff at the same time, guys. Isaac says, try adding a very small value to the image with PixInsight, right? As a small pedestal, basically. That's what the pedestal value is in the weighted batch pre-processing script, by the way, if anyone is wondering. Yeah, that would help. But I want to see what the AI 3 would achieve. And if it doesn't work, we can try that. Or I can try NXT again, but with the value at like 0.9 rather than 1 and see what happens. All awesome. And there it is. AI versus division by 0. Oh man, I kind of... Okay, let's try NXT again. NXT, and we want to try everything, right, at 0.9. See what's going to happen there. Oh, there you go. I think it was Isaac. No, who told me that NXT? Yes, Isaac, thank you so much. You are right, NXT at 1.0 had issues, but 0.9, it is much, much better. Oh, that is great. Thank you so much. This helps a lot. So now I can go back to my pixel math. Pixel math, where we screen the two images together. Pop. This looks good, but I want my H alpha to be redder. I'm never satisfied, am I? So I'm going to go back to this image, and I'll make things redder because I like red. Yeah, and bop, bop. Did you undo the GXT before running NXT? The GXT could not run. It ran into an issue, so it didn't even get applied at all. So I didn't have to undo anything. There we go. Now that's going to be red. Although I stretched the red too much, so we get... Maybe I want to do that. Ooh, I'm having fun. No, I don't want to do that. I'm having fun experimenting here. Sorry about that, because it's really the first time I attempt this. And There. Nice red with just the nodules, very little of the background. We're getting there. HA. And let's try to screen that in to the image again. There. Now I like this. Oh, this is nice. Guys, this is nice. There's a weird thing here, but I think when we reapply the stars, this is only less than 3 hours of data with the Dual Frankenscope from Tokyo. This is super cool. We've managed, and this is the first time for me, we've managed to add the H-alpha data to this galaxy. I'm so hyped. This is awesome. So otherwise, oh yeah, and I have a question while I'm processing. So you might have noticed in my latest live stream, but also more in general, that I now have a webcam like on top of my rooftop balcony. I'm thinking, as a silly thing, having this live stream up all of the time on YouTube. Not sure if it would be on the main channel or on a secondary channel. Maybe I can put some open source or whatever, like shared use, whatever music in the background. Just so when it's the middle of the day in the US, you want to see how the night looks like in Tokyo, whether the scopes are out, what Cuiv is doing, whether I'm taking a video or something like that. Just as a relaxation, background noise, background image at work. Would that be fun? I don't know. That's just something I thought about. It could be fun to have that as a live stream permanently on the channel, and without the sound though, because I don't want you like hearing what I'm seeing when I'm recording my videos, but that could be something. Let me know what you think of that, if it would be fun or completely useless. I just want to know. Okay, back to the processing. Quentin, you should look at the video of Sasha from View into Space to understand the fundamental difference between NXT and Graxper denoise, and why NXT is producing artifacts at full blast, whereas GXT doesn't. So I actually know the difference. GXT does a blend between the original image and then what the AI has generated. This is the ratio when you choose between the images. So yeah, and that's something that was actually on the German Astro-Photo Cologne made that video in German explaining that, and I watched it with like the automated YouTube subtitles. That's the whereas NXT, it does not do a blend like that in the end. It actually has everything as input and just applies the AI directly on the image, and that ratio slider, the strength slider, is one of the inputs for the AI algorithm compared to GXT, which is a different methodology as far as I can tell. Just don't put neon light up there. People might think it's some different sort of building. Obviously, yes. That would be really fun, Ryan. Really good to know, definitely. Okay, so what next should I do on this image? Do I want to do anything more? Like, can we try, I don't know, HDR? What would HDR transform do on this? It's not high quality data, right? So it's not like, I don't expect, so HDR multi-scale transform, I would go to lightness mask. What would happen if I just apply this as is? Nah, don't like the results. If I increase the number of layers and see what happens, nah, I hate those results. Not beautiful. So I guess there's not much left to do, actually. Could be interesting, but I don't think it would get a lot of views. Maybe worth mentioning in the main video. Yeah, obviously, I mean, I wouldn't do it for views, just as a fun side thing for people to enjoy if they feel like, you know, seeing what's happening in Tokyo. And you could also add imaging time lapses in videos. That I could do as well, if I can get the time lapse feature working on my camera. I haven't managed to yet. Yeah, maybe you could try local histogram equalization to bring out the arms more. So local histogram equalization is something that I keep hearing and I never ever have good success with. So I can try. I can see. I have to set the contrast limit to a very low number, otherwise I get really weird stuff. But it's like it darkens between the arms, which is kind of nice, but at the same time I don't like it. I don't like that it looks almost like over contrasty. I kind of prefer to have that luminosity between the actual galaxy arms. It's kind of like so then we have try local histogram normal equalization with minimum kernel radius, contrast 2, and amount 0.1. Okay, let's try that instead. Local histogram equalization. So minimum kernel radius, there it is. Contrast 2.0. Oops, 2.0. Okay, and amount 0.1. Okay, let's try that. Let me see if there's any other suggestions since then. Whenever Cuiv is outside on the live telescope, feed would go crazy. That's possible, yeah. Would be kind of weird. Okay, let me try this. See what we get. I've never tried this kind of settings. Let's look at the before, after. I see a very slight, that's actually a good one. Good difference. It makes me want to try with the amount of 0.2. See what happens. Oh man, that is Jill Polbert. That is an awesome suggestion. I had never seen that. Before, after. And before, after. Might be slightly too aggressive at 0.2. I'll go to 0.15 as a compromise between the two. That's a great suggestion. Call it Cuiv Watch. That's a not bird watch or wildlife watch, just Cuiv Watch, because I am, after all, wildlife in Tokyo. You can play with histogram resolution set to 12 bits as well, okay? Now I think I have the settings that I like, so I'll set the histogram resolution to 12 bit and try again, see what happens. Woody, would be great if you could get together with Ryan from Dark Rangers Inc. I love that guy. He is brilliant. If you don't know Ryan's channel, what's the name? Dark Rangers Inc. There you go. I love the style of speaking that he has. Love it. Oh, he made a, yeah, I remember. I saw that after that. Oh, wow, that was actually, no, the histogram resolution back to 8 bits. Yeah, 8 bits is the answer. And I look at it again, before, after. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I think that I like this subtle difference, but it's there. That's a great suggestion, Jill. Thanks so much for that. I'll probably try that in my other processing going forward. That's cool. Okay, let's add the stars back into the image. So pixel math. And what is it? The stars, they're called L_stars. Is that going to work? It does work. There we go. The stars are actually a bit underpowered because I feel like I want to add. I know this is not often we do that. I don't know if I should be doing that, but I feel I want to quickly add some color to the stars. Boop. And maybe make them slightly brighter since I used curves. Since, you know, stretching the image and extracting the stars look like weirdly faint if I just re-add them right now. Okay, so we've added back the stars and I can go to pixel math. Here we go and try again. Okay, now the stars are a bit more visible. No, I don't want to close my star image. I'm going to remove the preview. So delete all. And okay, this is a decent image. I'll probably try reprocessing it later because this, or maybe, yeah, right after the stream ends and right before work maybe, because I like this image, but I feel like I could probably do better. But still, That's a cool end result. Thanks to your help, guys. Try saturation with GHS for the stars. Oh, I don't like GSS. I'm so sorry. Like the generalized histogram stretch, I don't like it. I just don't. I prefer like a very small stretch first, and then I play with curves because I like my curves. But no, the GHS, I never am successful with it. I hate that thing. I know it's super powerful. I know I should be using it. I know it's awesome, but I hate it. I don't use GSS. I'm really sorry about that. Do you have an Astrobin account? Do I have an Astrobin account? A very old one, but I abandoned it after Astrobin became, like, I think, a subscription service because I didn't have any use for the social features, that kind of stuff. I understand there's costs, etc., but I just didn't feel like using it. Wasn't useful really. So yeah, no, I stopped using it. What do you think you could do better with this image? I think I could extract there is a string of luminosity that goes outwards here. I probably could extract it better. Same for that. And I can probably also, like, it looks a bit mottled there. So I feel I could enhance that for the image. But overall, still very good result. And yes, Comer, everyone loves curves. Okay, Gilles Paulbert looks good, Cuiv. Thank you so much. Enrique, and again, it's not criticism to you. It's absolutely not that. It's thanks so much for the suggestion. But it's just like GHS, it's so hard to use. And I never get the same results. It's even worse than curves. I don't know, I have so much trouble with it, even though I know it's awesome. Thanks so much, Enrique. Great result, Cuiv. Ooh, we made it. And this is basically the end result. I'm thinking about doing such processing streams from time to time, and maybe next time, instead of using my own data, which is low quality, we could, since I still have some credits on Telescope Live, we could use some Telescope Live data, stack that together, and then process it together, see how that works. Plus Southern Hemisphere data could be fun. So could be yeah, and we have Linux Astro, applause, yoo-hoo! And Laku, thanks for letting us have a look over your shoulder. Very interesting. Good night and all the best. Thank you so much. Good night to you too. It's been a lot of fun. Okay, no Astrobin. Where else do you share your photos? I don't share my photos that much. I mean, I put them on Instagram because, yeah, YouTuber kind of have to have an Instagram account. So both the Instagram and Facebook accounts, I have my images there. They're not full resolution. I also have like a website with my images, but I haven't updated it in a while. I don't know. I'm not proud enough of my images to publish them that much, I guess. And it's more like all of that I do for me, mostly. So it's yeah, it's just something on my side. Hugh Hamasaki, awesome image. Always enjoy your work, Cuiv. Thank you so much. And Fruity Records, from your location, that's a great result for sure. Thank you. Yeah, that's like less than 3 hours of data on the dual barrel Frankenscope. That's pretty good. I'm eager to hear about the UMI 17 Lite 2. Need another harmonic drive mount as I am sending the AM5 to a remote observatory. Yeah, I mean, I've actually shot most of the review of that mount. I've tested it under the stars. Spoiler alert: the guide results with a red cat, so it's not like overwhelming it, were around like 0.55 arc seconds, which was pretty good. But it's I don't know, it feels like it's a mount that is over spec for its main use case, which I think is a portal mount that can also be used for visual and alt-as very easily. And I would, if you have the dough to spare, I would rather like go towards something else like the UMI 17 standard or the UMI 17R, which is upcoming with the direct servo drives. And then it gets more expensive with Warp Astron, but that's probably what I would recommend. Maybe instead. The AM3 I haven't tested, so I don't know at all how well it works because it has type 14 drives that I've never used in the past. So I don't know how well they perform. Also, fun thing, yesterday I was looking at the AM3, ZW AM3, ZW Astro page. There it is. And I need to tell ZW about that, but maybe they changed it. You see the AM3 mount. Everything looks good, beautiful images, blah, blah, blah. But this is from the AM5 specifications. So that's kind of weird. And then for the AM3 specifications page, they said they have like a NEMA 42 with a type drive 17. Deck drive is also 17, and the load capacity is suddenly like 13 kilograms and 20 kilograms with the counterweights. ZW, you need to change that because that's false advertising. not intentional, but that's like weird that the official site has the wrong specs for the AM3. Let's see, what else? Lee, thanks for the demo. I need to rewatch and see how I can apply this to M81, M82. Awesome job. Maybe next time you can send out to your members that you are doing a live stream. I learned so much. Yeah, it was kind of a spur of the moment thing. I woke up and I'm like, hey, I'll do a live stream. But I'll add, in that case, something in the community tab. That's a good point for everyone to see, including members. That way we can have more people joining, more people. I think we had only one super chat today, but still very, very appreciated. It makes such a huge difference. And what else? Your images are super helpful to get a reality check. I live in similar light pollution condition to you. Yeah, so it's good. Then we can compare notes in a way to see what kind of results we can achieve from such a light polluted area. I shot the whirlpool for 2 hours Friday in Bordeaux 2 while camping with my youngest son. Oh, that is awesome. I'm sure you have some great data depending on which telescope you used. That's going to be really, really interesting to see what you get. The NYX 101 is awesome as well, but a bit expensive, like AM5 on steroids. Yeah, and actually, and again, this is a bit of a spoiler alert just for you guys on the stream. I also shot and tested this mount, the MCAN Astro EM31 Pro mount that no one has ever heard of. It's an EM31 Pro. It's basically an AM5, but it's lighter. It has, what you see is what you get, polar alignment. You don't need to lock the knobs after you're done with the polar alignment. It's a really interesting system. And everything about it feels premium. It's like an unknown company in China decided like, hey, there's no premium harmonic drive mount, let's make one. Like, what? A very, very interesting mount. So I'll make the proper review later on, but for slightly more than the AM5, this is very interesting. And for information, the image that we processed today was taken with this mount. The mount had roughly 0.7 arc seconds RMS during the night, which is really good because it's rated for a maximum of 15 kilograms without counterweights compared to 13 kilograms with the ZW AM5, despite using the same type of harmonic drives. But I used it with my Dual Frankenscope that is 14 kilograms, but it's further than 20 centimeters away from the right ascension axis. So this mount was actually overloaded while I was taking this image. And it's a very interesting mount. So yeah, it's there's a lot of potential around. And if you want something that is like a light strain wave gear mount that is not breaking the bank, then the UMI 17 Lite is actually really good. But I don't feel comfortable putting a large scope on top. If you want a light mount, not just, and the UMI 70 Lite, because you can separate the wedge and the main mount, it's easy to put like in a photography bag. It's like one lens here, one lens there, and for us it's like the wedge here, the lens there. So it's a good way to travel. But I don't think I would use it as my main mount because I don't dare put heavy stuff on it, despite the specs being superior to the AM3 while being cheaper than the AM3. Of course, the AM3 is an other alternative, although I feel it's a bit overpriced for Type 14 strain wave gear drives. And then you have the MCAN Astro thing that I showed, the AM5, and you have the other UMI mount, the UMI WD, sorry, not WD, what? The UMI 17 and 17R. I haven't tested them, but so many people are saying good things about them. So it's also something to look at. Sorry, I can't recommend a single one. I'd like a little AM3 for the FRA. Yeah, absolutely. That's a good one. Ryan, $5 super chat. That is awesome. Yes, thank you so much, mate. It's, you know, it's all of those things that make a whole lot of difference. Anything really helps out. I mean, full disclosure, I have a very busy full-time job, right? And I hope to be able to, in the end, be full-time on YouTube, but it's just not enough right now. But it's, as we go, as we grow, maybe it will be possible, and then I can do more videos, more streams, higher quality stuff. It's yeah, it's gonna be good. And also, one of the things I want to do if I manage to go full-time is a Discord server where I could actually be present. I don't want to do a Discord server right now because then I wouldn't be present on it, and it would be yeah, it would be kind of a waste. We also have Alan Moylan joined the channel. Welcome to Lazy Geek. Thanks for joining the channel. Thanks for joining the stream. And also, Pete's Astrophotography. Welcome to Lazy Geek. Welcome as a member. That is awesome, Pete. Thanks for joining the channel as a member. Andrew Hazen, great image. Cheers. Yes, it is. It was a lot of fun processing this with you guys. I'll probably post that on Instagram later on, right? Because I really like this. Oh my God, Cuiv, are you working from home today? Yes, I typically work from home. That's a big advantage. I can take videos over the lunch break. So that's a good thing. Comer, I ordered UMI Light for Pleiades 68. Plan is to do a lot of camping with that. That should be a perfect match. Let me know what you think of the Pleiades 68 because I hear it's a great scope, and I've kind of asked William Optics whether I could have a review sample because I want to test it out, especially that internal focusing mechanism. But yeah, we'll see how that gives. Ryan, I noticed there are more HOMEG drives mount coming out, I guess because the motors are more compact and it's easier to make than traditional equatorial mounts. Well, they're in demand. They work great. They have great guiding results. They don't need counterweights. They can replace your equatorial mount. To me, it's the future. As long as you're guiding, it's the future. And so I honestly would not go back to the traditional equatorial mount unless it's like a Paramount or a 10 micron or an astrophysics mount. But even then, I'm very satisfied with the Warp Astron mount that I use as my main workhorse. And yeah, Marcus, I agree. The UMI Light, great for an ultra portable mount, and I plan to use it with my Red Cat for my my ultra portable rig to go to dark sites. Alan, hey, great job with the name. With the name? What name? Sorry, I get confused. Philippe Fontaine, I'm going to have to watch this a few times. Lots of experience here. Yes, that's why we do this processing. It's a lot of fun. And the continuum subtraction and recombination is the first time that I did this. So if someone is joining the stream right now, like Sneaker Set, greetings from California, welcome to the stream, although it is winding down. Sorry about that. We actually added H-alpha data to this galaxy and it actually worked. Oh, your pronunciation of your name, Alan. Awesome. Thanks, thanks, mate. I'm glad I got it right. Fruity Records, off to bed, 1 a.m. Thanks for sticking out until this time. It was a lot of fun. Thanks much, Cuiv. Good night. Good night, mate. Rest well. And yeah, see you next time. I want to do this again. This is a lot of fun. And yeah, I mean, I think we're winding down. I actually have a kaigi, how do you say it? A conf call in 20 minutes, 19 minutes now. So we'll have to rub that before that. But anyone has any questions, I'll stay another, let's say 5 minutes. on, and yeah, we can slowly wind down. I can also show my scope together with the main image. My scope's under the covers, under the rain. Beautiful stuff. With the galaxy, I'm gonna put like maybe that kind of half and half. There it is. Oh, it doesn't let itself be half and half. There it is. That's nice. We can see everything at the same time, and the weird ads in the background that we really don't need, they're gone. That's great. Let's see. Do I get any questions? Given the new Skywatcher mounts are out, do you think the AZ GTI for 250-ish is a decent price for beginning photography? Paired with an 80mm stellar view? No. No, I wouldn't pair the AZ GTI with an 80mm refractor. I would pair it with maybe a Red Cat at most, and ideally something like a Rokinon or Samyang 150mm, 135mm, sorry, lens, or the Canon 200mm lens. Otherwise, it's a lot of frustration. The next step up would be the Star Adventure GTI, which I haven't tested. There's also an Ioptron, very portable mount that is out. I think Nebula Photos, Nico from Nebula Photos, tested it on this channel, on his channels. You might want to check it out. What's the budget refractor? SV Boni SV505, was it? I think those are like, they're doublets, so they're not like the SV501 maybe, or SV503. Yeah, this kind of stuff. That's and in dollars, that would be roughly 350 US dollars right now, I think. So budget refractors, SV Boni refractors, can be considered. They're doublets, so they're not going to be the best quality ever. So yeah, it's 387 US dollars. I haven't tested them myself, but I've heard good things about them. So take that as you will. What else? Matthew Peters, yeah, 80mm might be too big for the AZ GTI, depending on your imaging train. Raider fan, New York Raider fan, there, I got it. As a newbie, what is your choice between C-Star versus the Dwarf 3? Well, I haven't tested the Dwarf 3, so I can't say for sure. Based on the specs alone, for a newbie, I'm wondering whether the Dwarf 3 might not be the better choice because of the wider field of view, and therefore the tracking should be easier, and the fact that you can use it in, assume that you can use it like the Dwarf 2, in equatorial mode, as you know, as you can grow in the hobby, versus the C-Star in equatorial mode is kind of a hack, which is a bit of a shame. Otherwise, like the C-Star is great, and the software on the C-Star is better. So it's a tough choice there. If you are okay with what looks like kind of bare bones software, maybe the Dwarf 3. If you prefer polished software with the star map and all that kind of cool stuff, the C-Star is better. It's really a matter of preference. Windows key plus left or right, that's a good point, although it did not work with this Wise camera image because this is an Android emulator image, I guess, so it probably doesn't follow the right steps, but thanks for the tip. Yeah, the Star Adventure GTI, apparently the mount sounds like a coffee grinder, although, yeah, if it works, that's fine. Want to upgrade from a DSLR. Was thinking of the new entry-level ZW cooled camera. Good idea? Your thoughts? You're talking about the 585 MC Pro, I think. Depending on your setup, it's a great camera, but, and this is something I mentioned in my review of the of that specific camera. I have a video review of that if you want to check it out. If you can spare $200 more, if I remember correctly, the 533 MC Pro is a better general purpose camera. So consider that as well. Also, if you're going for the 585 sensor, I personally prefer the TaupeTech version to the ZW version because you can select the low conversion gain or the high conversion gain as you wish with the Taupe Tech, whereas it's a switch on the ZW that starts at gain 242 only, and I feel that it starts too late at a gain that's slightly too high on the ZW camera. That said, if you're going for the ASI Air, you have no choice. You have to go ZW. So then, well, it's a good camera. I quite fancy trying a harmonic drive mount, but my rigs are too heavy. Still happy with the EQ8, oh wow, and the CQ350. Pete, now you have to tell us more. What gear do you use that is too heavy? Because, you know, Warp Astron was telling me like that they had like the WD-20 can take up to 30 kilograms, I believe, or 28 with counterweight. That's already a lot of equipment. But they were asked by quite a lot of their users to actually make a mount that would be like a WD-30 or something like that to carry even bigger scopes and bigger equipment. And they're considering it, as I heard. So maybe your wish will be granted in the future. But man, Pete, I want to know what you are using. That sounds like an awesome setup. And those are two excellent mounts. I really want to know. Chuck, they have a great bundle deal at the moment. Also do an APO version. That's SB Boni. If that's it, then it could be a great option. Good point. Ryan says there's this HAE 69. So the HAE 69, a very good point, is actually being reviewed by Dark Sky Geek, a fellow French astrophotographer whom I bumped into in Tokyo, Shimokitazawa, a week ago, roughly, last weekend, I think. I highly recommend his videos, and in particular, he has an initial first part review of the HAE 69C encoder mount. Although with Ioptron mounts, I would usually recommend staying away from the encoder models because of the SDE, the subdivision error that apparently has plagued those mounts for a while. So that could be a good thing to check, but maybe wait until you have part 2 of Julien Dark Sky Geek's review on that mount. But yeah, it's the Ioptron HAE 69 could be a good compromise, although it's on the expensive side. So yeah, if you are looking for something more budget, this is probably not it. Let's see. Want to upgrade from a, yeah, I answered that. Someone has an SV Boni SV550 880mm mono rig on an SA Star Adventurer GTI. Yeah, I think that's right within the capacity of the Star Adventurer GTI. So that can work. What else are we seeing? Pizza's photography. I've seen that, but it doesn't have quite enough capacity. Oh wow, the HAE 69 doesn't have enough capacity. Mates, what is your rig? I need to scroll down. Maybe you've already... 12-inch truss tube Ritchie Chrétien. How heavy is that? 12-inch truss RC telescope. That is an amazing rig you have. Oh man. How heavy is that? 52 pounds. 23 kilograms. So maybe all geared up around 30 kilograms. And the HAE 69 is up to what? Payload with counterweight 36 kilograms. Okay, maybe you have something heavier than that cheaper RC. What else? Chuck, loving the Taupe Tech adapter for camera lenses. Really? There's a Taupe Tech adapter for camera lenses? Camera lenses. I need to look into it because I've been thinking of getting a Samyang lens. Or maybe it's something else, but I'll look into it later. I use an Astromake AT72ED2 on my Star Adventurer GTI, and while it's a bit loud, it tracks great. That's great news, so definitely a good option there. I have Telegizmo too. Yeah, Telegizmo is useful, although I think it's a bit too expensive for what it is. The inner lining breaks after a couple of years, or 3-4 years. I've made a long-term review, and maybe a simple barbecue cover would work just as well. I don't know, just to be safe. I have the Telegizmo covers. The scope with camera, filter wheel, and PC is well over 30 kilograms. Okay, so it would be the HE69EC with counterweight, if that's even possible. Maybe a future WD-30 or whatever. Chuck said second link. This one. Ah, there it is. Wow, that looks interesting. So it has the exact back focus. What if you want to use a filter? Does it have a filter drawer inside? If it doesn't have a filter drawer, I don't want to use it. Huh. But that looks really interesting. I really got to go in a couple of minutes, guys. And oh, wow, Hugh Hamasaki, $5. Yay! That is your first super on a live stream. Thanks so much that it was me. So Hugh says, thank you for the advice. We'll definitely be saving up for the better camera. Yeah, absolutely. The 533, I think it's a better general purpose camera. The 585 is still excellent. And because it has smaller pixels, it's a good pairing with a small refractor. But and if you're on a budget, then it's a great choice. But if you can spare the dough for the 533, you get a bigger sensor. And overall, it's a better general purpose camera, in my opinion. Ryan, and again, thank you so much for your support. It makes so much of a difference. Ryan, something I really want to put together with maybe a Warp Astron mount is a side-by-side Samyang 135 setup. This is interesting. I remember one of the people commenting of my videos was putting that together. That could be a really fun setup. William Blakers, hi Cuiv, love the videos and your shots. Thank you so much, mate. Means a lot. It's a lot of work, so it's always good to know that the videos are appreciated. Okay, I guess I'm going to start winding down there. This, as a reminder, let's have a quick look at the image that we accomplished together. It's only 3 hours of data, less than 3 hours of data with the Frankenscope from Tokyo. Added up the H-alpha data from the galaxy, from one of the scopes to the other, and we get this result in just 3 hours, plus this live stream. And I am really happy with that. I really start to need to go and run for work. Yeah, I think that's going to be it for the last stream. Let me know if you have any last words. Before we go, I'm setting myself a timer. Let's see. Yeah, I really need to get away. So thanks so much, guys, for watching. Pete's Astrophy says, thanks for the stream, Cuiv. Catch you on the next one. Yes, let's go. That will be a lot of fun. Look forward to seeing you there. Elias, hello, Cuiv. You were one of the reasons I got into processing. I have a question, please. I want to buy a wide field lens for my camera. Can you recommend one? Yes, you will. Yes, the Samyang 135 or Rokinon 135 or the Canon. Yes, that's a Canon camera. The Canon 200 millimeters f2.8 lenses usually are really good. Great stream, thank you. Missed the last 2 hours or so. Sorry, Smash guys. Nos vemos, Cuiv. Nos vemos, Enrique. Thanks for your stream, Cuiv. Oh yeah, this is awesome. Thanks so much, guys, for joining the stream. I will be putting an end to it now. Again, lots of fun. Thanks so much. It was a lot of fun. I'll publish the image, maybe try to reprocess it a little bit and publish it on Instagram. Thanks for being part of it. Thanks for all the tips, by the way, because I learned some stuff. And thanks for also the donations. That really helps the channel out. So cheers, guys. Clear skies. Obviously, I'm not been having really clear skies recently, but making the best of it. Don't forget to make the best of it. And I will see you next time. Enjoy the rest of the week because it is Monday here. Stefan, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for Nina. Thanks for everything. Stefan is the creator of Nina, guys. He's been on the stream the whole time, and that's amazing. And yeah, au revoir. See you next time, everyone. Saraba. Sayonara. See you next time. And again, thank you